Side Scrollers is brought to you by you. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers. It's time for Side Scrollers on youtube.com. With me, Stunner and Craig. You got a goal? Go get it. Adam Krigler.
Hi, buddy.
Blab.
Hi, chat. I love you. Mwah.
And producer extraordinaire, Travis Key.
Hi, guys.
And brought to you by you, the G2 community at patreon.com/sidescrollers. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on youtube.com and rumble.com and twitch.tv and Spotify and iHeartRadio and anywhere else you want to find your favorite podcast in the world. Hey, everybody, it's Side Scrollers. Good to see you guys. Welcome to the #1 video game and entertainment podcast on planet Earth. Hello. Good to see you guys. It's good to be back. I am tired. I am here, but I'm ready to go with the greatest, maybe the greatest podcast crew in the history of podcasts. Starting first with the king himself, is Travis Keys.
Good morning.
Travis didn't even know we were going to him. He's like, what?
I was just hearing the opening and I thought, what's different? It's actually not anything different. It's I have a different setting on my headset this morning.
Well, now
something's going on.
You are inconsistent, to say the least. But you don't know. But you know who is not? Blabs. Hello, Blabs. How are you?
Hi.
I say that with all love, Trav. You know, as Trav literally just disappears off the screen. Like he's just gone.
Why am I hearing myself? Okay, so like Travis has a new setting, and I had everything on.
Damn it! Everybody off. Hey, everybody. It's good to see you. Adam is here. Hello, Adam.
I'm going to get rid of this guy right now. Hi, everyone. I want to apologize.
Damn it, I forgot I gave you admin mode.
He gave me admin mode. I can remove him. I wasn't done, sir. Anyway, welcome, everyone, to the stream. Today is a special episode. Why? Because...
Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Let's go. We're off to a kick-ass start today. Let's go. Hey, Travis, hello.
Seems like I was the most ready out of all of us. But
Travis is here. Blaz is here. Hello, Blaz.
Dude, hi.
Adam is here.
Adam is hi.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun. Awesome. It is good to be here, Craig. I got to be honest. It's great to have you back, man. We had fun yesterday. It wasn't the same without you, though. It's good to have you back.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. You know, it's funny because I saw Joe super chatted yesterday with $1.99. Says today was fun. Craig was holding you guys back.
Well,
thanks,
don't take
Joe.
it personal. All right?
No, not at all.
Actually, no, that's pretty personal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how can you not?
Yeah, that's a personal attack. Take it personally.
I do, Joe.
That was Joe.
Damn it,
Anyways,
Joe.
we're gonna have a great show today. We got a lot of Star Wars talk. In addition, I'm gonna tell my story about going to Super Nintendo World and Universal Studios for the first time. I spent the last 3 days. It was a giant whirlwind. I'm glad to be back. And we have an awesome guest today, which
yes, we do.
It's a Star Wars day. So Adam, I'm gonna let you introduce our guest.
So this is a buddy of mine who first raided me when I first started Twitching years ago, and I didn't know anyone in the space. I was still kind of like, hey, I'm new to this realm of streaming, and he raided my stream, and we quickly became friends and started gaming together, and now he co-hosts one of my shows, Bay Staff Monday, every Monday night. His name's Darth Call, and he actually got his start doing cosplay and actually going out and interviewing people about Star Wars and also dressing up as Darth Maul playing Battlefront 2. Very cool stuff. Definitely check his content out. We're going to be posting it all over the place. But welcome to the stream, Call. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Adam. That was a super cool intro. Thank you for not roasting me too hard. Appreciate it.
Oh, I forgot to roast you. Damn it. Next time, I guess.
No. I pulled him so you can roast him. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. This guy, he's a trained classical actor. All right, theatrical actor. And what does he do with all of his talent? He dresses up as Darth Maul and Jack Sparrow on streams. That's what he does with his talent. Wasted, I say. Wasted. That's the best I got.
Are you truly?
That was actually was that a dig? I actually not sure.
Might have been a compliment, honestly.
It was like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah. Okay.
like,
I'll
"Watch
take.
out,
You know
you're
what? I'll
great."
take it. He's a homie. He can handle it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me. Like, it's crazy being invited on podcasts. It's kind of weird for me still, but thank you. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, we could just kick you off if it's too weird.
Well, I'm used to it on base
Okay.
apps, so
Okay. All right.
no problem.
We
Yeah.
do a lot
Flood
of
says
brooding.
Darth Call is a young goat, but he
Flood.
has been known to lie.
What? Oh, what I
Just
lie to
kidding.
you guys.
What
Come
up? What up, Flood?
on. What's up?
Well, no, I'm talking about Flood. That was. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
like to dig at the homies, right, Blabs?
Mm-hmm.
Are we homies? Because you dig
Shit.
at me all the time. We're homies
Damn
now.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do?
You gave an inch. There it is. You gave an inch. Now you and Blabs are BFFs. I can only imagine.
Nah,
I
you
can only
still won't
imagine
follow me on Instagram.
the
I
Legion
even
of
that's
tagged
I
Memers.
will
him in
never.
Instagram too, and he still won't acknowledge me.
Well, that just goes to show how much I go on Instagram, which is practically never. So I did follow you. I followed you once. That counts.
You
That
followed me
counts.
for all of 4 hours.
Yeah, until you roasted me for something, and I was like, you know what? I'm unfollowing, and I did live.
That's
Y'all
the thing.
saw
It's
it.
like, hey, you know what really happened there? See, you severed a connection, right? And you don't even remember what happened. See,
Yeah,
this is the
Adam.
problem with today's
That's right.
world, Adam.
My
Mm-hmm.
start.
Nobody even knows.
Look, I deserve that. All right, guys, I deserve that. It's
He's
fine.
frozen as he says it with a smile. I love it.
That's right. Alex Howe getting us started today with the $2 super chat. Alex, thank you so much. Hey, by the way, your super chats today, guys, let's effing go. Look, I was talking to Jeremy over at Geeks and Gamers, right? And he was saying, look, our channel is awesome because we get 1 million gifted memberships and the 199 is legit. I said, I know the 199 is legit, but you know what
199.
I said to him? I said, the G2s are legit as well. So we got a little battle going on right now. Repping. Now, look, I know the G2s are smaller than the 199, but we're going to get there. We're going to grow a little bit together, which is great. So
Aren't you supposed to suck a dick if we lose or something?
Whoa,
What
whoa,
is
Travis.
Man, I would not
I
make that
didn't-
deal.
I didn't say
It
that.
is
They
true.
said
It is on the record.
They
You two
said
were-
that.
Okay, no, Adam actually wasn't here for that,
What?
but it is true.
yeah,
I didn't say that.
Greg and Jeremy discussed this on Wednesday's stream.
Yeah, I just get timestamps. That's
High
all
stakes.
This is what
fucking
happens
do.
when
High
Adam
stakes.
disappears.
Those are high
Craig has
stakes.
to go and suck dicks now.
Wow.
Whoa,
Damn it, Adam.
whoa.
You know, I was watching it and I thought,
is
man,
it
they got
plural,
the wrong
Blabs?
side scrollers host on there for that.
Okay. Let's take a step back. Adam, you weren't here on Wednesday. I did the
Wait,
show.
wait, hold on. I'm not sure I want to know.
There's
Yeah.
context here. You need to have context.
Call, do you want to know about this? Are
I
you
don't know
with
if
me?
I don't know if I want the context.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
the
not sure.
guest, so we
That's right.
should maybe we should just be like, you know,
Side hose.
let's just leave it at that.
Right.
Craig's like, I need to tell the story.
Flawed knows. Hey, by the way, I didn't get a chance to see Flawed this week, and I was literally out of everybody at the meetup, Flawed is like the one I didn't get a chance to meat. And
Did
I'm
you meet
really
Call?
upset. What, you were there, Call?
Yeah, I was in like invisible, dude. Flawed never hanging out, dude. And yeah, I had the shades off, so no one really knew. It was kind of epic.
Damn it.
It was epic, dude. Yeah.
That's
Incognito,
pretty
man.
cool.
I was hanging out with Shag, dude. Shagsworth and Flawed and I were kicking it for like 10 minutes, and then Flawed was like, "Yo, you know that's Call, right?" And Shags was like, "What?" And that would happen like throughout the night. And then like multiple people that follow me on Twitter, they walked by me, so I shook their hand. I'm like, "Hey, nice to meet you," and they were like, "Yo, what's up?" Like, no idea who I was. It was epic. I loved
I
it.
love it. It's the Clark Kent glasses.
Dude. It made me think. You know what? Maybe that shit would work because just a little thing, and people really like don't even see you. It's epic. Yeah.
Mhm.
And dude, Flawed. Dude, shout out to Flawed. Such a G. It was so epic to meet him and kick it with him. And
He
such
looks
good
shorter
vibes.
in person when
He's shorter than me. Yeah.
I know he's in chat, so I can't help myself.
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to meet him.
You would have thought he was really short.
Yeah. Well,
How tall are you, Craig?
6'4".
Oh shit. Yeah, you're pretty tall.
I'm a giant.
Wow.
I thought you were 6'3". You said 6'3". Now you're 6'4".
3.5, 6'4". It depends on the day.
He just grows. He's a tree, you know?
What about you, Adam? How tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
Well, I feel compelled to tell you 5'3" and 3/4.
No one asked, Blabs.
I don't care, Adam.
I care, Labs. And you know what?
Thanks, man.
You guys are best friends, so you should care, Adam. You guys-
Homies.
yeah, you're homies
I
now.
never said best friends. Homies
No, no.
is not the same.
But at the same
All right.
time,
Why can't we be friends?
the Legion
Come on,
of
Adam, you're the
Memers,
singer.
the Legion
Oh,
of
God.
Memers, they heard that you guys are friends now, and that means you're best friends forever. And they're gonna go crazy with the memes, which is great. So
Oh, I have
Yep,
a
you
headache
did it.
right now. Instant
I know,
headache.
it's
I
so
don't know
bad,
where
you're
it came
frozen.
from.
hey, Alex came in and says, today is my last day of student teaching. Sad. Well, Alex, that means you get to be a big teacher now and not student teaching. You get to be a big teacher. So congratulations, Alex. Don't be sad. Be happy. It's a great thing. Congratulations to you. I think that's awesome. Melodic Method came in as a brand new member over on
What
the channel,
up,
which is great. Thank you
Melodic?
so much. Paul gifted a membership to Side Scrollers Travis got a membership, which is great. Thank you guys very much. That's outstanding. Captain Billy came in with the raid over on Twitch. Thank you so much, Captain Billy. Extra Zero said with the 4.99 says Craig couldn't meet Flawed because he was too tall. Yeah,
Oh, we
Yeah, you
couldn't
just
see
like
him.
looked over him. Yeah.
just
Probably what
glancing over
happened.
the entire. There were several tall people there, but I was near the top of the tall folks.
Who
for
was
sure.
taller than you?
There are a
There
couple.
weren't many.
Yeah, not many.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There weren't
Isn't
many more
Jay
than
taller than
6'4".
you?
No, I'm taller than Jay.
Yeah, I saw a
just-
picture. It seemed taller than Jay. Yeah.
just a wee
Drunk
lad.
3PO is very tall.
That's who we're talking about. Jay
Yeah,
Drunk
yeah.
3PO. Yeah.
He was very
he's
tall.
I spent a lot of time with Jay and Jeremy and
Jeremy.
Yours is great, man. Really, really fun. We had a really good few days. I'm going to get to that in just a minute. Butter Biscuit came in with the 5. Says, did you guys see Pedro Pascal's Strange Way of Life movie trailer? Weird and hilarious. Did you guys see this? No,
Haven't seen it. No.
that'd be fun to take a look at today. Maybe
Haven't
Travis you
even
can pull
heard
that up.
of it at all.
Flawed says that no one was taller than Craig.
Yeah.
I did it.
I think Flood's correct.
I'm the
You're
freak.
just a human tower.
What?
A
You're
human
just really
tower.
tall. Human tower.
Oh,
She
okay.
called you a human tower.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking like some sort of like cheerleading thing where like, people are all stacking up
Go
on each other.
team. Give
I
me a
don't
C. Give me an R.
That's right. Naris came in
Weird.
with the 10. Says donating to the Don't Let Craig Suck D fund. Let's go. Listen, you better keep it going. You better keep it
Let's
going
go.
hard and not that hard. All right.
Wait,
Just keep it going. Huh?
Oh no.
Listen,
phrasing.
it's like what's that in
Clip.
half baked? He's got his nasty Nate. You know what I'm talking about in Half Baked, where Dave Chappelle's friend is in jail. Have you guys seen Half Baked before?
Yeah, but it's been so long.
It's been a while.
So Dave Chappelle, they're trying to get their friend out of jail. That's why they're selling weed to begin with, because their friend was out and he was buying munchies, and he gave some munchies to a police horse, and the horse died. So he got sent
Right.
to jail. And when he was in jail, he got confronted by Nasty Nate, who was like the big dude who's ready to do some damage on him.
His name's
So,
Nasty Nate, so
Yeah, that's his name.
take
Nasty
that as
Nate.
you will.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, there's a scene where they're trying to raise funds to essentially avoid what we just talked about with the Naris right there. Naris, thank you very much. Let's keep that flowing so we can
It
get
was
there.
long-winded
Yeah,
with
listen.
no real, ending there. But okay.
It's a tie-in, right? That's all. Listen, the guy in the movie didn't want to suck the D. I don't want to do it either. Winterfell came in and says, not just friends, co-host. That's like being blood brothers. There you
We're
go.
blood bros, Adam.
That's right.
Damn.
There you go.
Just
All right.
gonna move past that.
It is what it is. All right. Once again, if you guys are watching us over on Rumble today, welcome on out. Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for
Smash like.
finding us. Yes, hit the like. Of course, hit the follow button. I think that's awesome. You guys can support us over at patreon.com/sidescrollers. If you guys haven't yet, consider doing that. We have some new patron goals up over there, including the first one being a giant marathon of NBA Jam, where I start from the beginning and play through. It'll be like 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. It'll probably be a full day, 24 hours of me just playing NBA Jam.
Have you done a 24-hour stream before?
I have, but it's been a long time.
Crazy.
And-
I've never even done one. Like, I don't know how people do that.
It's a
Insane.
lot, man. It's
Yeah.
a lot. And you need assistance for sure. There's a lot going in on that, but and we got, let's see that. And I don't know what else we got. You got anything else, guys, before we get into the fun stuff?
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
get
cool.
into it.
All right. So let's kind of talk about. So I spent the last 3 days at the Nerdrotic meetup. Obviously, Darth Call, you were there. You can speak to this as well. Flawed was there, and I just wanted to kind of talk about that experience a little bit, and then kind of what the last 3 days looked like. Because I flew into Vegas on Wednesday morning. Got picked up by the Salty Nerd Podcast folks. Which, by the way, those guys, good dudes, like really good dudes. They set us up with they were like, please come and use our studio setup. We would love for you to do that. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. And then like they thanked me for coming in and using their studio setup. And I was like, you're thanking me for using your studio? That's like the nicest thing I've ever heard in my life. So we did that. That's where we did the show on Wednesday, and it was really good. It was fun. We had X-Ray Girl
conversationalists.
Yeah. X-Ray Girl, Mark came in. Jeremy was there. We had a lot of folks come in. Jay was a part of it. We had the breaking news of DeSantis being sued by Disney, and it was all sorts of chaos. But it was a really good show. After that, we pretty much got prepped for the Nerdrotic meetup last night. Darth, when did you get into town for the meetup?
I got in like right before, like I was set to like get in at like 6:20, and so I thought I was good, but LA traffic is LA traffic, so it tacked on like a whole extra hour to the trip. So I got in, and then I had to find parking because by the time I got there, when I think it started at 7, the parking was gone, so I had to like find a spot. But I got there like 7:15, so I was pretty close to almost on time. Not bad.
No, we got there probably around 4. We got there super early, and just to kind of get prepped. And Gary was doing a stream there and doing like a pre-stream and getting folks going. But there was the place was not as big as it needed to be. I'll tell you this: they have absolutely outgrown the venue that they're doing at the Millennium Fandom Bar.
Yeah, I would agree. A cool bar though. Like wow,
very cool bar.
Super bad. Do you know what it is, Adam? Have you heard of it?
No, what is it?
It's like a comic book movie like museum of like artifacts or pictures. Like there's screens, like for instance, all the screens had like the Next Generation playing in the background the whole time.
Sweet.
There were like lightsabers on the walls, like Star Trek Enterprise ships, like any kind of model, like helmets from like Marvel too, I think, like everything.
And Harry Potter stuff I saw.
They did, yeah. It was just a super badass venue. And they had like an old retro Star Wars arcade cabinet from like, it's got to be from like the 80s. It was pretty wild.
Are they actual props or are they like crap?
You mean like replicas?
I think they're legit. I mean, I didn't go and like touch them, but
right.
It looked incredible. Yeah.
Here's a little piece about it. I mean, it's
oh yeah, see the R2. Yeah, the R2 was dope.
It's
that's
very
so cool. They have an R2.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a very cool bar. Some people were cosplaying. It wasn't like this though. But it was a neat bar. It was a really cool venue, but they've definitely outgrown it. I mean, I think the capacity on it was,
packed. It was packed, bro.
There was at least 400 people shoulder to shoulder in this tiny two rooms.
That looks like a 250 person venue at most. You know what I mean?
They have a Deathly Hallows lamp right there.
Yeah.
It was helmets.
It was very cool. It was great to see the 199 out there and be a part of it. So went out there and they had tacos for everybody, which was great. Gary like set it up to where, like everyone got a drink ticket who went, and there was tacos for everybody. It was like it was a great way to give back to his audience, and with Geeks and Gamers there and everybody else there. It was really, really cool. It was definitely like a who's who of in that little group of folks.
I think they also must have like really helped the bar make quite a bit that night, I would imagine.
That's probably why they keep going there every year, is because they like the place and want to support them. But I was surprised that they said that they don't charge their fans anything to come as well, so they just cover it all. So hey, they're awesome.
I'll say I do think the bartenders made bank that night.
Oh yeah,
they killed it. They killed it.
I had a Deadpool mule with Flawed. It was good.
Nice.
What the hell's a Deadpool mule?
I don't really know, but it was solid.
Well, they're not allowed to call it a Moscow mule anymore because Russia is canceled. So,
is that what that is?
Is that a thing?
I bet that
I hope that's not a thing.
I think they changed it all to fit the aesthetic of the bar, but actually, that is a thing.
Wow.
Like over the past year, they've been like changing all the Russian everything.
Do you remember Adam when
mustard is being?
I thought you were joking about the cat being banned from the cat show. Yeah. I was like, that's real.
No.
Oh my
But
god.
this is borderline politics. I apologize, but I just found
No,
it
it's
funny.
just
Well, they do
more,
it in sports too. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
more
they're
of the
not. They don't
bullshit.
get the flag anymore if they're
no,
Russian.
not even like for figure skating. The Russians were completely omitted from competing in the world championship for figure skating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's their
It's
fault.
crazy, right? They're like, they're like a
How
bunch
dare
of
they?
kids and teenagers.
How dare they
and,
be? How dare they be?
Yeah, it's the
Russian.
difference between
And they're
Russian
the best.
people
Figure
and
skating
the
are the best in the
government.
world, and they
you know?
can't compete.
Right.
Crazy T came in with 200 bits. Says, you guys are on a roll today. Lol, I love it. Thanks, Crazy T. Greatly appreciate that. Dermy Wormy came in with the 5. Says, late, but it's good to see that Craig isn't locked on the roof of the hotel.
I
Listen,
believe that's called Craig.
well, some people just misspell my name on
That's
purpose.
Craig.
Krieg.
Krieg.
Krieger.
Krieg,
If you
yeah.
had the chance to change your fate, would you? That's
Thank
my
you so much,
best,
Jeremy Wormy.
brave impression.
And Dungeon came in with the 777. Says, Darth Call, you are the man for cosplaying Darth Maul. My brother went full Darth Maul on Halloween of 1999.
Hell yeah.
Makeup, cap, even the lightsaber.
Let's go. That's tight. That's
You
as
have it.
retro as it gets.
You have it near you, right? His lightsaber.
The lightsaber, yeah. You want to grab it?
Yeah. Go grab it.
Yeah.
Show it off, dude.
Give me a sec.
It's legit. All right.
Oh, it's legit.
Bill came in. By the way, I met a lot of the 199, a lot of G2s there. That was awesome. Bill says, you guys shouldn't mention how overly packed it was. Your haters can't do anything about this meetup since it's over, but they would never be above calling the marshal to go to shut the next one down. It's funny. I was talking to Jeremy about that. Like if they've ever had any
Look at that
intense pushback or anything like that. Oh wow.
I'm
That's
sure
nice.
the owners of the bar know the capacity that they're
Yeah, I'm
rated
sure, like,
for and
legally,
would
they have to
stop
follow the
people from
rules.
coming in.
Right.
Mhm.
And there was security and stuff. So
And a capacity is always far larger than you're comfortable with. So you know what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
I'm sure it's much more people than you assume it is.
yeah, they're very mindful of how many people needed to be there for sure. But it was very, very good. Jeremy says, "Nah, I'm just dumb." Easy, Jeremy. You're not dumb. You're smart guy. You're watching the show. So immediately after the meetup, it was I think it was probably the event went from 7 to about 11. I think something like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe
and-
later, actually. Almost like midnight.
So for us, it ended at 11:30 because I was in a car with Jeremy, Jay, Drunk 3PO, and Kristanova. And from there, we then got in a car that night and drove to Los Angeles. And this
Oh
is
wow. That night.
that night in the middle of the night.
And
And
that road from Vegas to LA, like at night, is like crazy.
How long did it take you?
it was about 4 hours on the dot. So
Mhm.
so we rolled in around 3 o'clock in the morning, about 3:15, 3:30, I guess, something like. So somewhere around there. Jeremy had set us up with a hotel, which was great. So we rolled in and we essentially slept for about 4 hours. And we got up yesterday morning. I'm trying to keep my days in tack here. So we got up yesterday morning and then we went to Universal Studios to go to Super Nintendo World, which
Wow.
what's amazing is, I've talked about how I did Slam Ball a long time ago and it was filmed at Universal Studios, but I realized that I'd been to Universal Studios hundreds of times, but I've never actually been in Universal Studios, which was crazy to think about. So yesterday was my first time actually going inside the park.
No way.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Mm.
So I went in and we went down to the Super Nintendo World, which Darth, have you been to Super Nintendo World yet?
No, but it sounds awesome.
I'll say this, man. It is I'm not going to say I was disappointed because I wasn't disappointed.
Oh.
But I will say that I wish it was bigger and that once you kind of get in with how compact everything is in at Universal Studios and everything, it just feels like you're kind of rubbing elbows with people because everybody immediately walks in and they go directly to Super Nintendo World. That's it.
What's the main attraction there? Is it just like old console games or?
No, they have a Super Mario Kart ride, and and the ride itself is I'll say this: I rode the ride once, and by the way, if you go, the secret is use the single rider line. Go and take the single rider line. You go pretty much straight to the front. Otherwise, it's like an hour and a half wait line as you deal with all that stuff. But we had a local vlogger with us as well named Ivan, and Ivan hung out with us, and he had been, and he gave us all the tips and tricks and stuff to get in. And let me actually take a step back. We had an awesome guy named Jade who hooked us up with tickets yesterday. Who was a friend of Chris Gore's, and it allowed us. He gave us a couple front of the line passes and stuff, and we didn't actually use them, but we could have, and which was really nice. But it was a really neat experience. It was all built through connections and stuff. Anyway, so with that said, thanks to those folks for helping out. But Ivan really helped out as far as getting around the park, because as soon as you walk in, everybody bum rushes Super Nintendo World, and the line is insane. It's nuts. So if you want to go on all the Harry Potter stuff, if you want to go into the Illumination stuff, you want to go anywhere else, you can do that and roll through the park super easily.
Michael, do you think they're going to add on to Super Nintendo World as
Not
time
there.
progresses? No,
Not there.
Not enough
They're
room.
doing it in Orlando, aren't they?
Yeah.
Eventually.
See, that was what I was thinking, because it costs $575 million to build it, and I thought, well, maybe they just didn't have enough investment, and over time,
the one in California is just smaller in general, isn't it? Because of the location. Like even the Harry Potter theme park, from what I've heard, I've never been, is like half the size of the one in Florida. So everything's just smaller there.
So there's just not enough space. Okay.
Right. It's
Makes
LA.
sense.
There's not enough space, and
Go up.
Yeah.
If they do anything there, they're going to remove something to put something else in. Like they've maxed out their space.
What's the ride like most? Because I've been to Disneyland. Can you give me like the most similar vibe of?
Right.
What?
So I'll say this: the Mario Kart ride is unlike anything I've ever ridden before, in that you put on this little Mario hat, right? But then you put visors that are magnetically attached to the visor or to this hat. It's really interesting. And then you have this AR experience to where when you see the different racers going around as you make your way through this racetrack, right? And as you so there'll be prompts in your visor that say turn left, and you get points for turning left. And you'll go over in your visor, you'll see a box just like you would in the game, and you go over the box, and it'll give you some turtle shells to shoot at the Koopa kids who are racing around you, right? Now, keep in mind, you don't see any of these things in real life. They're all through your visor. So you're seeing something different than everybody else is seeing.
So you're playing against NPCs, not the other people, or?
No, you are actually playing against everybody, because they do have leaderboards. They have daily leaderboards, and they have monthly leaderboards, and they have all-time leaderboards. So it's kind of like
you
a
in
game.
one cart. You're in a single cart.
So you are in it's like a 4-seater cart, to where there's 4 total people in each, and there's 4 different experiences. So you can see
It's like a log ride, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a 1, 2, and then 2 in the back. So 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
But your augmented reality may be different from the person sitting next to you, or is it the same because you're in the same car?
I think it's very similar to what other people are seeing, because I could see behind me, Jeremy was sitting, and I saw his shells being shot from behind me onto my augmented reality.
That's kind of cool.
It was neat. I'll say it was, but with all that said, there's so much going on in your visor when you're playing this that you really don't get a grasp of the ride itself, because it takes you through all these different courses in Mario. It takes you through Rainbow Road and the Cloud level and all these kind of iconic Mario Kart looking levels. But you're so busy looking at the racers and looking around and looking at and trying to get shells and stuff that it kind of takes you out of it, I guess. Now, Jeremy said he didn't really like it. He didn't really like the ride.
There's like too much going on, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's like overwhelming.
But it's like I said, I've never done anything like it, and it's like a video game. It's not like a roller coaster at all. I was expecting to be a little more high speed. Goes through pretty slow, and it just kind of has prompts for you to turn left, turn right, and but you are rewarded for hitting different things, hitting the Koopa kids, turning at the right time, gives you coins. And I think I finished with like 118 coins after mine, and Jeremy finished with like 111. So, Jeremy's really good at like 200cc, but he sucks at Mario Kart IRL. So suck it.
It does sound like something though that they could run later and not have all the extra shit, so people could just look around and see things. Have a non-race, run or whatever.
So there was a ride at Disneyland at California Adventure, and as I was talking about this kind of really circled back in my head. There was a ride. It was a Drew Carey ride that when California Adventure first launched, it was built around getting around Hollywood, right? And it was supposed to be this ride where you're moving around LA and stuff. But the ride was so bad that they had to like rework it. It was only out for like 6 months, and people hated the ride.
Is this the one where you take off and fly, and you feel the wind on your face and stuff? Is that different?
I don't know. I don't know exactly, but that's kind of what this felt like, if it makes sense. This is kind of like a I don't know, a slow moving child ride with fast moving elements in your face the entire time.
Yeah,
so
that sounds like what it is. Like you fly
Sounds
around
like shit.
Yeah, I say if I was to,
I shared a link there at the end. The second half of that actually has the ride on it if you want to show it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the California Adventure ride. Yeah. The Drew
I
Carey
might have
ride.
been. I think I might have done it.
Yeah, it was there at the very, very beginning of California Adventure. But I'll say this: I would give it like the ride itself like a 6. Like I'd like to go like a 6 out of 10. I'd like to do it again, but at the same time, I wouldn't wait an hour to do it again, if that makes sense. I'd like to give it another try.
Do you think something like that would work better in more of a virtual reality? Because they have them like boxes that move up and down and things, and you have the screens around you. I've been in one of those ones. Would it work better in that rather than the augmented reality?
I would just rather play the game. Like I would just rather play Mario Kart than try the IRL version of it. But so we did that, and that was fine. Then we kind of walked around the park a little more, and we spent all day there. And we had reservations for the Mushroom like Toad Cafe, which is like this sit down restaurant inside this area, and that was cute. And they have like a Mario burger and a Luigi burger and spaghetti and meatballs, and they're all kind of branded uniquely, and they're all definitely very Nintendo.
How was it? Was it like good food?
Yeah, it was good. Like I would say for theme park food, 8 out of 10.
Is
like,
it worth the price?
No, absolutely
Can't be. It's a theme park food.
No,
Can't
absolutely
be worth
Well,
the price.
sometimes it's really great, aesthetically pleasing, or something, or some really unique idea design.
$18 for spaghetti and meatballs? No.
Yikes.
But it was like you pay for the experience, right? Because
Is that what you ordered? Spaghetti and meatballs?
Yeah. Well, so
everything.
Everybody got a little bit of everything.
Judging a little bit. Oh, okay.
Well, no, but we all kind of got a little, and we all kind of shared, right? So it was, I had spaghetti, Krista had a burger, Jeremy had chicken sandwich. Like everybody had a little bit of everything. We all tried a little
Jeremy
bit.
always eats
But
chicken. There's nothing
who was
else
jealous? Who was the one everyone was jealous of? The one that ended up with like the good meal. They're like, oh man, I have to finish this damn spaghetti and meatballs.
Jay was not happy.
The chicken sandwich. No, what did he get?
Well, he got the spaghetti meatballs, but it was kind of spicy. It was kind of a spicy sauce attached to it, and Jay was like, "I can't do this spicy stuff." So
they probably used chorizo or something in it. Yeah,
but there was mushrooms and things as well, because mushrooms are a big thing in Mario, apparently. Obviously, with the mushroom, but they put in the sauces and stuff, which by default, which is interesting. Well,
same. Mushrooms are fire,
dude. Mushrooms are incredible,
right?
They're so delicious.
mushrooms.
Yeah,
really.
I didn't mind it. Some did. So we ate, and then we pretty much got in the car and we drove back. But the problem is, it wasn't in the middle of the night. It was, it was pretty much at rush hour. So we got in the car, and Jeremy drove back again. And I just want to say this about Jeremy. Dude probably slept for 90 minutes, right? Over the course of the 2 days. And I was like, listen, man, if you need somebody to drive, I will gladly drive for you. And he's like, no, man, I got it. And like,
Gee.
He's the one who drove from Vegas to LA.
Yeah, he drove from Vegas to LA and back from LA to Vegas.
The reason I ask is because I know the math on that, and you said how long you guys were speeding on the way there.
Well,
on the way back, yeah, it was way faster for me. It was 5 hours in to Vegas and 4 hours out.
It was
mind you, there's no speed limit.
They were not speeding at all.
Right. There's no speed limit on that.
But here's the thing. I don't know because I was sleeping. And so was Jay, and so was Krista, all in the back. Like
they were. So he was driving, and everyone was passed out.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
that's
dude,
champion. His championship.
Fucking stud, man. Like, I was so impressed by him. Like And I told him, man, I said, you need to sleep. But guess what? He got up this morning and did G&G Daily this morning. Like, what a hard ass. Like, he
I don't
goes,
think he
man.
slept in years, to be honest.
He's going. It's starting to wear on him too. You can tell he's looking old as shit. I'm just kidding, Jeremy. I'm just kidding, Jeremy.
Someone clip that and send it to Jeremy, but don't
I'm
include
texting
the I'm
Jeremy
just
right
kidding.
now.
no
Like, it's by the way.
No
Just the one clip and just send it to Jeremy. Everyone blast Jeremy with it.
context.
Looking old as shit.
Hey, Craig says
No,
he
no.
looked like shit.
And if I say you look like
Old as shit.
that's right.
Excuse me.
But it was a good experience. We got back last night, stayed at their Airbnb. I slept for about 3 hours, got on a plane this morning at 5, tried to sleep on the plane back. I'm pretty damn tired, but I'm glad to be here with you guys. It was a neat experience to do Super Nintendo World. I will say this. It gets me excited for Universal in Florida because that's where I think the true the painters can paint their full picture in Florida because of all the land and everything available out there. And that's what I'm excited to see because and walking in, man, if you don't think that Disney needs to be shaking in their fucking boots, everybody, people, people at Disney, they wear their Disney shirts. Fucking everybody was wearing Mario shit. Everybody. And
Kids love Mario, man.
it wasn't
Imagine
just
how much
kids.
merch this place
Well,
is
yeah,
gonna
that
sell
too. Like
for
just
them.
everybody, really.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's crazy how especially if you look on Instagram, how crazy everyone is for Mario right now because of the movie, the theme park. Like the dumbest reels or whatever will get like 100,000 likes. Like it's going bananas on the internet.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna keep going up now with
Yeah,
Florida.
I bet you they're gonna make 10 times their annual what they make on merch normally. You know what I mean? This
Mhm.
year.
Has the movie hit $1 billion
Easy.
yet?
I think if it
Not
hasn't
yet.
yet,
It hit 900 million. 900
Wow.
million.
900.
That's probably
Already?
about to. Yeah.
Damn.
And it's
Yep.
about to release in Japan. I don't think it has yet, right? The 27th.
I think it was this week, wasn't it?
It's moving quick though. It's gonna be in the top 5.
Yeah,
easy
it just
movies of
released,
all
right?
time.
Yeah, it was this week, either this week or like Monday or something like that.
yeah.
I didn't know there were differences between the theme parks. That's interesting because I was just reading about how in Tokyo Disneyland,
Mhm.
they refused to get rid of some of the female animatronics from Pirates of the Caribbean because, in LA and I think probably in Florida too, they took down some of the ones. Like, remember when one of the pirates was like, show them your larboard side? And there's like this redhead. They got rid of it, but Japan's like, nah, no, we're going to keep that.
They're
thing.
kind of
Yeah.
based.
It was released today in
Based.
Japan, actually.
Japan was like, I don't think so.
Well, we also talked about
I like that about Japan.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I really want to go to
100%.
Japan. They have the coolest stuff, like all their merch, like anime to Harry Potter, 10 times better in America because America doesn't know what they really want. These customers, they're like, I'll
Well,
just pay $50 for a piece of shit.
The game companies in Japan tend to not give a fuck about what the West says.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, are you complaining about something in our game?
Oh, it's
anyway.
sexist. Boo-hoo.
Mhm.
Oh no. So anyway,
Yeah.
moving
Go
Go to
on.
Japan.
it was a good few days. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but we talked about this briefly on Wednesday, Adam. But
Mhm.
there are actually slight differences between the American version of the Mario movie and the Japanese version of the Mario movie. They're
Interesting.
making
It's
some small changes.
fascinating, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What
So-
kind of changes?
I think part of it has to do with American
Probably
Jokes,
sensitivity.
It's going to be in
humor.
Japanese now instead of English, probably.
There's that, yes.
Well, and
Yeah.
there was, if you remember back in
Smart.
the day, there was
Adam's so good.
translation. There was translation problems from Japanese to English, so they could even have jokes about that shit that we would know nothing about, but the Japanese would know. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Mhm.
Well,
Weird
It's
thing.
probably just gonna be like the humor that just doesn't really translate, doesn't really hit well. So they probably just changed some of the humor up for Japan.
I want to watch the Japanese version now.
It's probably gonna be superior, honestly.
I guess we'll find out.
Oh, yeah. Almost assuredly, I would say. Yeah.
There are
Mhm.
some showings of the Japanese version in America in heavily Asian cities. They're doing something like in Seattle and San Francisco and things like that. So
Ooh.
Cool.
yeah, so interesting stuff.
Nice.
All right, Board Panda came in with the 5. Thank you so much, Board Panda. Says LA to Nevada is like my Kessel run. I do it in 2 hours 45 minutes. Love you guys.
Holy shit.
And that's bullet train speed. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
Fun.
Evan came in with 13 months of membership. Says, from what I've seen, even standing in like for Mario, it says, from what I've seen, even standing in like for Mario Kart looks in line Inline. It says like, but inline. Inline for Mario Kart looks awesome as you go through Bowser's Castle. Yes, the queue is very cool. It is very, very cool as you make your way up into the ride.
Yeah,
like
that's almost as important as the ride itself because you can be stuck there for hours and be bored out of your mind.
Yeah, it does feel like you are in like a Bowser's Castle. There's all sorts of like
That's
little
cool.
references and stuff. So, and then Jonathan Davis came in with the $49.99 super chat. Says the government reluctantly gave my money back from taxes. Dedicated to share the love. Taxation is theft. Keep up the good work. Hail G2. Jonathan, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Tip of the cap to you, friend. That is awesome.
We
Mr.
won't
Freeze.
comment on if taxation's theft, but we will take your tax money.
It is theft.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Huge theft.
Don't
I will
disagree.
comment on it.
Look, Adam's hailing again.
There it is.
I'm what?
Straight up. Are you guys want to get into?
I'm saying I'm number one. That's what I'm doing. I don't know.
Oh.
All right, let's get into the
That
Star
was
Wars
really
talk.
loud. Holy shit.
All right, I'm glad, Darth Call, I'm glad we got you. We got a lot of Star Wars on the way, and we're just gonna rapid fire through all this stuff.
Hell yeah.
And there's a lot to talk about today. So, and I guess we'll start with this right off the bat with
Hard news.
Oh yeah, sorry. Hold on. I forgot about that. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for a brand new intro for hard news.
Oh, damn it. Is that
It's
what
already
you
in there.
sound like? Wait, was that me?
Yeah, that was you.
Yeah.
But I
See,
thought I was supposed to do it over the music.
Yeah, see, I like the one where he does it live, but the problem I think is the mic.
You can never get this right.
The mic cuts off the music a little bit, or the music cuts off the mic somewhat.
Oh, when I'm talking over that?
Mhm.
Well, when the music's playing and you talk, it kind of cuts into each other a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so what you got to do is send me the music so that I can put it into my stream deck and just straight do the hard news intro
Mhm.
myself.
There you go.
I'm
All right.
down for
Look,
it.
I want to make it happen. All right.
Mhm.
Paul Hadouken did some work for us, and especially for me. Shout out to Hadouken. All right, my boy. He's like, I got you, dog. I'm gonna send him without the vocals so you could do it yourself. And I was like, my man.
That freeze is great.
Oh, that is juicy. That was for you,
was-
Hadouken.
that was good.
That freeze. The stream manager was like, oh, freeze it there, freeze it there. Damn. I don't know
All
why.
right, let's get into the news. This
Get
one,
into the news.
major news yesterday from Fortnite.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Bingo. Apparently, Anakin Skywalker is coming to Fortnite.
Of course.
Just getting a bit
Crazy.
excited.
No,
Not
I
the
don't play
slightest.
Fortnite.
It's
I'm
just
an adult.
another way for Disney to cheapen Star Wars and make
Just
money
cheapen
off of
Anakin
it.
altogether because they
Yeah.
already threw him in the bin.
Yeah.
So,
Fortnite
I'm like,
is a predatory game that all they want to do is get you to spend more money on skins and play their stupid game.
yep,
I have never
agree.
played it. I've never played it, Adam.
Me neither, Call, and I never
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, I think we can all say
It's
fuck
terrible.
Fortnite and fuck Disney at this point.
But I mean, don't they bring everybody into this game? Like every IP under the sun has been in Fortnite, right? Like, have there been other Star Wars characters? Like, I think didn't they? I swear,
Rey.
when we were doing Battlefront 2 back in the day when the game wasn't dead, I think they added Obi-Wan Kenobi to Fortnite.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong,
For the last,
I'm not sure though.
they had Darth Vader, they had Rey, and you were able to pick up like a stormtrooper gun. I think I don't remember anything else.
Well, I don't know. It's just
I'll
another
debate.
skin, and unless they add anything, any super moves or force powers or anything, it's just a skin that go on top of it. But I'm sure. Look, it's gonna sell like crazy because
But it
Star
looks
Wars
like
fans
shit.
are nuts.
Look at his face. It's like
Here's my thing. If it's just skins, then it's bullshit. You're paying for bullshit. And if you want to pay
Yeah.
for bullshit, you pay for bullshit. But as soon as they start adding in special moves and all this for all these different IPs, the game's going to become so fucking cluttered because nobody's going to know what balances what.
Yeah, it'll
where.
be kind of like when World of Warcraft just kept adding too many classes,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
just-
all the classes became one class because there was just a cluster F
Clusterfuck,
of
yeah.
of talents
100%.
and abilities.
He hit it right on the head.
Thank you.
That's what it'll be.
You know when Fortnite lost me was when they put a machine gun in Chun-Li's hand. Chun-Li from Street Fighter. I was like, why is Chun-Li have an assault rifle? Like that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
That's
You
pretty
know,
weird.
there's all these random characters, and I mean, I like the idea of playing as RoboCop and all that, but like when you throw Guile in, I don't know if Guile's in it, but it's just random Street Fighters in there.
Boom.
Yeah, it's kind of odd.
Love Guile.
Represent. Let's go to the next one. More Star Wars for you as we fly on through. This was so the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor is out, and it's apparently it's getting panned. Have you guys seen this?
Oh, really?
All right, I have some things to say. I have some things to say about this. Okay,
Yeah.
I think there are way too many entitled ass gamers today. All right, these people are so spoiled that they're expecting these games to be absolutely flawless. I loved Cyberpunk when it first came out. Now, of course, I played it on a strong PC that was able to handle it, and all the bugs that people are complaining about Survivor. Well, I haven't played Survivor yet, but I know some people who have been playing it and they love it, and they haven't noticed any sort of bugs. Some console players, some PC players. So I've talked to a few different people that I know personally that have played it and said, I'm not even dealing with any issues. And you go on Twitter and you see the people bitching about it, and it's like, it's not running at a perfect 100 frames per second, and I'm using a 4090. How? Oh my gosh, clutching my bro. What? It's running at 40 frames per second? How dare you? Yeah, Medicare, dude. This guy, oh my gosh, his complaints are that it's not running full, and you're watching the footage. The game looks fine. Like that's what you're complaining about. Like, and they're saying they're going to streamline it in a little while. They're like, wow, all these stories about these companies putting out shit games. It's like, so far, the only complaint I've actually seen is it's not running at an optimal ray tracing frames per second issue. And I'm like, that's it? Y'all are complaining about that?
Isn't this a game that has to go on multiple platforms too?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's on
Xbox,
multiple
I'm
platforms.
sure. Yeah,
The console players are having it easy, but PC players, they're able to patch it so fast. I mean, all patches are very easily done. So nowadays, people just expect these games to be perfect. And it's like the ability to patch didn't exist back in the day when you had a cartridge where that was it. You couldn't patch the cartridge,
Yeah,
right?
Shadows of the Empire, dog. You got what you got.
Exactly, and it's like those games, those cartridges, the bugs that are in them, they're still in them and they will be forever. But now we've got patches and it's just not running at 100%. Like, okay.
Well, I think there's a good argument to that. So Survivor was actually delayed a couple of weeks. So delaying it when it was already announced years and years and years ago, people are probably expecting more than a whole bunch of bugs in the game. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
And
I
also
think people
EA's been
complain
really
too much.
shitty.
On the one hand, because look, I streamed Battlefront 2 from its beta till its death. Okay, so I know the
still
EA
playing it.
experience. Well, that's how many, can you still find matches?
Yeah, but also it's really hard because I play with friends from all over the world, and EA sucks when it comes to matching servers, and they just so it's hard, but it can happen.
Wow. Well, I don't want to just go out of my way to defend EA, but I also have to kind of agree with what Adam's saying. Twitter loves drama, and there's no news like bad news, and they just want to squeal about something. You know what I mean? And considering that EA doesn't really make Star Wars games anymore, they've had so much time to focus on this one, which was a big success for them overall.
Yeah,
for their first one. Yeah,
I played the first one. The first one was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was all right.
I wasn't. My mind was
Fish-eyed
not
lady,
blown.
She dragged me
Right.
nuts.
Well, people were saying it plays like a Dark Souls game, and I'm like, no.
The reason I asked about the multiple console things is because don't they have to give some places in order to put a PC game on a console?
Right.
Don't they have to give and take?
Right. So PC games are obviously going to be considerably stronger because PCs are stronger than your home console. The thing that is not being considered here is that when you release a game for a PlayStation 5, when you release a game for an Xbox One, you were releasing it for a console that has a set standard of specs, right? You know what that's going to be. The thing about releasing a game on a PC is that there are a million different specs for a PC. Millions. I mean, might as well be impossible to create a game for PC unless it's especially if it's supposed to be a very visually appealing game. I mean, if you're dealing with like, pixel sprites and, it's a very, basic like run and gun platformer or something like that. Okay. Right. It should be easy to do. But if you're dealing with a game that is meant to be visually breathtaking, putting it out on my PC will be drastically different than putting it on Darth's and yours, Travis, and Blab's. And so you're looking at essentially five different consoles, and having to bring this over. And that's the one thing that people, you saw this this video from Medicare here. I don't know him, but a lot of people seem to like him. But he's laughing. He's like, I can't believe this is in 22 frames per second, and like listen to kind of how he talks here.
I was just like having fun, laughing around, but I'm done at this point, dude. 22 frames, bro. Fuck Respawn. Fuck EA. How they could sell this for $80 is insanity. Like, you motherfucking knew this game is bad. People on Steam know it's bad. And from what I've heard, it's not much better on the PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. Although I'm pretty sure they get a more consistent frame rate than that. Yeah, I'm just going to load a micro.
Here's my thing with this.
I hear the opposite from everyone that I know that's playing this game. They're saying it's running great on console. And Craig makes a great point that couples onto what I was saying earlier. People are expecting it to just run perfectly. It's like they don't know what your specs are. But if you're expecting this game to run flawlessly, then okay, I mean, no game run flawlessly. All games have issues. I'm not saying that it's okay for a company to put out a subpar game, but when you're complaining that it's just not running 100% at 60 frames a second 100% of the time when you have a 4090, it's like, all right, it sounds like you're kind of a spoiled brat. That, I mean, I grew up in the era of like all games had bugs and you just played through the bugs, and sometimes they helped you, sometimes they helped you, sometimes they made the game easier, sometimes they made the game unplayable. By
the way, I said Medicare, I meant Mudahar. Or Mudahar. Yeah,
Mudahar. Yeah, not Medicare. Right.
I apologize. Yeah, but and I see this seems like a very I see everybody's perspective on this. I very much do. The idea that like, look, I'm paying for a game, I expect it to be done, right? Well, and I think there was a time that I would have said the exact same thing, but I do think that the internet has changed that. You talk about with patches and stuff, and when I was buying those games, I was buying those games for a console and not necessarily for a PC. So I think people do need to temper their expectations, because there are, as I said, thousands of different consoles in the form of your PC that needs to be attended for. So
to bounce off of that, I've noticed that a lot of people are uneducated when it comes to PCs. So if they're not huge gamers and they just want to play just for Star Wars, just for Hogwarts Legacy, they'll just go and buy the game for the PC thinking it's going to work on like some like MacBook Pro or whatever it is, like some Chromebook, and it's just not going to run. It's going to be glitchy and buggy as hell. So I think those people also need to learn.
Well, the laptop will start to like cook.
People need to know their own hardware as well, because I bought a top of the line laptop. I think it was the one I'm using here for work. And back then it was brand new. But what they did was they put a little program in here to streamline how my computer sent out packages. Now, what did that do? That caused my computer to lag on every single game that I played. Now, it was supposedly supposed to help the computer. It sure in the fuck didn't. And it took me about a year to figure out what the hell it was and remove it. But you see how you were talking, every computer's different. Every setup is different. So maybe he has a bottleneck that he's not aware of, and now he's bitching, saying this game doesn't work, but it works for 50,000 other people. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt until I have my experience with it, and if it sucks, it sucks. But it's whatever. Someone from my community was really nice and bought it for me, so I'm not gonna be pissed if I don't like it. But
yeah, you got it for free.
Exactly. So I'm just open-minded. The first one, the first game I liked a lot about it. The stuff I really didn't care for at all was really most of the characters of the story, but that's one component. Yeah, that part I feel like, and they dangled Darth Vader as a carrot, like, oh look, it's Vader. Like I don't just clap like a seal just because you drop in the cameo, but there was a lot of cool stuff that was good about the game. So we'll see.
Well,
I still think EA sucks. But
yeah, I mean, yes,
we can all agree on that.
They horrifically mishandled the IP.
2.
They did.
They could have had Ahsoka in there, and they're like, let's go
I
move
did.
on to Battlefield.
I had
This
Ahsoka.
game.
I had
Well,
Ahsoka.
Well, I mean, if I have it on Xbox, so I couldn't.
Yeah,
I put Cara Dune in there.
you did. I put Darth
That's
Talon
cool.
and Kate Skywalker, the legit
They were
lineage of the Sky. They were hot,
Darth,
dog.
Darth Talon, single-handedly the hottest mod in Battlefront 2.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Created by
So
those
I'll
guys.
agree.
guess, guys. So I made two
Commissioned by
mods,
those
right?
guys.
So yeah, it was Darth Talon and Cade Skywalker, and they're from the comic book series that came out in like 2006, like right when the third movie had ended. Guess how many downloads Darth Talon got?
Over a million.
No, not that much.
No. 500,000.
This is on Nexus Mods. She got 7,000 plus downloads. Now, how many downloads do you think Cade Skywalker got?
1,000.
300. Yeah, not as much. Because Darth Talon's pretty hot. He got a lot of views.
Ooh, there's like a wannabe Darth Talon on there. I'm trying to like pull up.
Are you
the
looking
Darth
at them?
Talon
Yeah,
that you-
dude. Mine's
The one that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Musashix came in and says, this is why I don't game on PCs outside of maybe some indie titles. Way too many variables for performance consistency, and certainly way too expensive, in my opinion, to keep upgrading every few years. I think that's just kind of put a bow on this conversation about this game in particular. That's the thing, is when you buy a PC, it's obsolete in 3 months. You know, there's something new coming out. So your game console that you bought, you know, I saw a G2 mention that they bought a brand new PC for Hogwarts Legacy, right? That PC is now obsolete. That game's been out for 3 months. It's, you know, there's something better.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's going to continuously be that way. So I think people do need to temper their expectations, and specifically from a PC perspective. Now, if you release a game on a console, you know, I have less sympathy for that. But from a PC perspective, yeah. Extra Zero came in with the $1.99, says need a ROM hack for Desert Bus, but with Crag and Jeremy. That'd be awesome. Do you guys know the Desert Bus game?
No.
So Desert Bus is this notoriously stupid game from the early 90s that somebody made, a game where you drive a bus through the desert and you literally just drive. That's it. And it's a real-time simulator. And
Okay.
it takes like, you know, I think it takes days and days and days to get to your destination. But you can't just and you drive straight. You're driving straight the entire time. But to make things interesting is that the steering wheel just moves a little bit to the right every once in a while. So you can just have the game going, but you still have to tilt it back every minute or so just to kind of keep it going. But there is a destination. There's a group of folks called Loading Ready Run, and they do a Desert Bus charity stream every year. It's pretty awesome. It's really, really good.
Wow.
I mean, it's not good at all, but it's just a fun bit.
Wow.
Extra Zero came in with the $1.99 super chat, says those poor younglings. That's right, talking about Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And Glitchwitch says review bombs on PC are bogging down the reception for what is otherwise being reviewed as a really good game and great sequel, improving on the first.
I figured it would be like,
Same.
you know, like you don't have that much going on already, EA. You've got like one thing to focus on. So I would imagine it would be a far better job than the first one, and Battlefront 2, which was.
I
oof.
think we live in a time where people like to be on a bandwagon, and they
Mhm.
see a certain amount of people say, blah, 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 this is bullshit. So they go in and say, blah, 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 this is bullshit.
Yeah, they like the tidal wave. They love that.
Right. Jeff,
Sadly, sadly, that is happening in almost every different avenue of all things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a bandwagon. I'm gonna jump on it because I don't want to be different.
You're right. It's our society. It's a societal
Even though
problem.
all of them scream that they want to be different and special, and it's like,
well, being the exact same, right?
You see what?
Right. Jeff Raptorfan came in with 100 bits, says I bought a new PC just so I could play Hogwarts Legacy. Thank you so much, Janice. Appreciate that.
Fun game. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Chris came in, says this is still EA, who certainly earned their negative reputation. So
yeah.
some people are probably assuming the worst because of it. Right?
True.
EA and Respawn for sure. Thank you, Chris. Greatly appreciate that. And Extra Zero came in and says it's not really entitlement on PC players' ends. It's an optimization issue. Console market is larger, and PC players getting shafted doesn't make news.
And half PC
see
players
it.
don't know their own shit. They don't know what they're playing with. They don't know their own PC because they bought it from some ready-made place.
Or they're trying to keep their now obsolete system still running when they've had it for 10 years. You know, it's like these people that are stuck on a PS4. Like Sony still makes PS4s. Like
That's
why?
crazy.
Because they still sell. They still sell more PS4s than PS5s because people just still buy them because game companies still make the games for PS4. So it's like whatever, it's cheaper and easier to come by. You can actually go get one. I think PS5s are now available now because most of the
How long did that
market it
take? Like years? How many
2
years?
years.
It's crazy.
Well,
till
and
it
they
became normal.
they're probably making more profit margins because over time it comes cheaper to make the thing. The more units they make, so they're like, buy away, keep buying
But
it.
they're stunting the growth of games and
Yeah.
what game companies can actually do with the hardware that the people who are playing their games have, right? Because right now the PS5, the Xbox, that's a set thing. They're like, we know what the specs are. Oh, but we have to make it for a PS4, so we have to make a game that can run on both of these. So they're not optimizing it for the PS5, let alone a PC, which could be, I don't know how many times stronger than a PS5 because of what's out there on a PC. But they can't make that game that's going to be perfect for the person who's on the 4090 with like all the RAM and all the i20. I know it's not there yet, but one day probably.
Right, because they might have to put it on a Switch.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
gonna play the new Zelda. That's the first time I'm gonna pick up the Switch in a while, but it's worth it for the Zelda. So
I
Well,
posted that link in chat. Are you gonna
About the Nintendo and the Call of Duty thing.
right.
Yeah.
That actually is perfect. This is a perfect segue into that.
We can do that, sure. But I will say this: it's if you guys want a video game talk, you got video game talk today. This is great. So I want to point in some G2 perspectives here. Adam says,
Sure.
if the game doesn't run on a 6-month-old PC, that's the game's fault. And I'm sure there's sarcasm in there.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
and unless your PC's set up wrong or your software shit.
Travis, can you do a little digging? Because K-Dash says the PC market is bigger. Can you do a little digging, please, and see what the size of the PC gaming market is compared to the console market?
Yeah, sure.
I think there are more people who own PCs, but are they gaming on their PCs? Right?
I think for Battlefront 2, it was mostly PlayStation 4 players, I think.
There's a big
Yeah,
difference.
I play on Xbox.
Hold on. There's a
Or
big,
that.
huge difference between it not running at peak for FPS than not being able to run at all on a console or a PC. There's a huge difference. Like, oh, okay, it hasn't been optimized perfectly for every different million different combination of PCs. So it's like, oh, Crimea River. That's what I'm talking about. Like people are just expecting it to run perfectly. Sorry,
Right.
but no. Get out of here with that.
Winterfell came in and says, Adam nailed it. Hardly any next-gen exclusive games. It's very irritating that I was in a mad rush to get the brand new console. Right.
Isn't the Survivor next
Right.
gen only and PC? It wasn't coming out on Xbox
it?
One or PlayStation.
It's a good
4.
question. I don't know.
I'm like 99% sure it wasn't for those old ones.
Yeah. I saw there was a chat that says that Steam says it's like 65 million players on Steam, which doesn't sound unreasonable. But once again, how many of them are active?
Right. Exactly.
And I think
That's what I would
that's a big question right there. You wanted to talk about the Call of Duty.
Yeah, I have it up. I have it
Okay,
ready. You
sounds
want me
good.
to bring it up?
Sure. Go ahead.
So
fire away.
CMA says Nintendo platforms aren't technically capable of running Call of Duty, disputing Microsoft's claim. Now, this is, of course, about the whole Call of Duty being, or Activision and Blizzard and all that stuff with Microsoft. So the UK Competition and Markets Authority blocked Microsoft and Activision's Blizzard merger yesterday. It also asserted that Disney's consoles aren't technically capable of running Call of Duty. Nintendo does not currently offer Call of Duty, and we have seen no evidence to suggest that its consoles would be technically capable of running a version of Call of Duty that is similar to those on Xbox and PlayStation in terms of quality of gameplay and content, which I kind of agree with. I don't think the Switch can handle it. And
No way.
is
No
there
way, no
anything
way.
that nothing Nintendo has is even stronger than the Switch? Switch is their current best system, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
entity believes. Go ahead.
Oh, it's yeah. That if you're the irony of the Switch is that if you were to go back 25 years, Nintendo was all built around creating creating the best, most powerful experience. You know, they were,
Right.
but they've shifted their focus on creating, you know, a more casual experience that started with the Wii, and hitting a broader audience that way. So yeah, there's a 0% chance that Call of Duty on the PlayStation 5 could run effectively on the Switch. And you saw that
No
with the
way,
Wii.
dude.
You saw that
No,
with the
it's
Wii.
laughable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hilariously laughable. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Sorry, continue, Adam.
The entity believes that Xbox and PlayStation consoles compete more closely with each other in terms of content, target audience, and technology. On the other hand, Nintendo competes less closely with both Xbox and PlayStation because its consoles have different technical specifications and more child-friendly titles. This comes after Microsoft already committed to a 10-year deal to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms, but it seems like that wasn't enough to convince the CMA to approve the merger, even though Microsoft previously said it was confident it could get it running on the Switch. The UK regulator cited Microsoft's potential dominance in the future cloud gaming as its main concern for blocking the merger. Cloud gaming is still a small part of the overall industry, but even Nintendo has gotten into it by releasing cloud versions of popular AAA titles like Control, Resident Evil Village. Perhaps that could be a solution for putting Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms in the future. I think Nintendo really needs to up their game and come out with something that is competable or not competable, comparable to these other systems. I mean, we got the Stream Deck out, and then I forget the other company that's now doing something similar to the Stream Deck, but they're happening. So Steam is taking over these handheld systems where people are running Switch games on their Steam Deck. They don't even need a Switch anymore. Now, of course, Nintendo, you know how they are. They're going to come down hard on these emulators, but it's too late. I mean, the Steam Deck is essentially just a little mini computer in your hand. That's way stronger than the Switch.
I think Nintendo needs to also do what it does best, and that's not necessarily pushing the boundaries of graphics. Like, for instance, I feel like they're like on the Nintendo store, it's very stingy. Like, I was like, oh, whoa, GoldenEye's released on the Switch. I can't wait to go play that. And then you go and you try and download it, and you find out you have to have a year subscription where you got to pay a lot of money to have
Right.
access to it. It's like Nintendo. People don't want to do that. They're feeling manipulated and squeezed. Just make it available for like $3.99, $5.99, whatever. I'll pay just to play the GoldenEye, but they don't do that. And I feel like that's a good way for them to help their market shares go up.
I
Because it's
thought
going to
the
be hard to
same
compete.
thing
Yeah.
about like Banjo Kazooie. You can't.
Yeah.
I can't buy it. I have to buy some subscription bullshit. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I just want to buy the fucking game.
It kind of
give me the
feels like they're
goddamn
kicking
game.
their loyal fans in the shins with that
Yeah,
crap. It really
exactly.
does. Yeah.
I did find these numbers, by the way. PC and console games total is 92.3 billion. That's down 2.2% from COVID years.
You're talking about revenue.
Yes.
Okay.
Console games was 51.8 billion, and digital physical PC games was 38.2 billion. Browser PC games was 2.3 billion. But you also have to keep in mind this doesn't take into account the fact that you also buy your PC for other things as well. You see what I'm saying? It's not just you buy your system to just play games. You buy your PC for many things, work, school work, browsing the internet, movies, streaming, you know what I mean?
Of course.
So take it with a grain of salt.
Adam, you were talking about Nintendo, and I feel like we talked about this before, but I want to circle back on this. You talked about Nintendo making a more powerful console to kind of compete. And I think the idea of having Call of Duty and Destiny, I don't know, pick whatever major graphically intensive game, on their console. I think that sounds appealing, but I don't think they necessarily need that. And we've talked about the idea of their top selling games on the Switch. If you were to go down and you look at all the top selling games and the number of games sold, once again, let's see how many of these are developed and published by Nintendo. So, right.
I think you're right, Craig, but I think Adam's right too. There's something to be said for competition. If they can make it when their Switch is docked, that it can run those harder games, why not cut into the sales of these other consoles? That'd
Right.
only be the
I
smart
can play these
business
games on
move.
my Steam Deck.
Right.
Right.
That'd be the smart business move to do. You know
Really,
what I mean?
their Nintendo's exclusive games are their biggest draw, and like retro games and the nostalgia of like handheld gaming is their bread and butter. I think they need to lean into that. You know,
Right. Well, so through their top 30 games, only one, Monster Hunter Rise, was published by not Nintendo.
But think
So-
about this. How many
That makes
games
sense.
how many games can't run on a Nintendo system that could be on that list?
Well, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just Call of Duty right off the bat, or Street Fighter 6.
Well,
or
and that's
whatever.
my point. If they can make another $100 million on, why not do it? You know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you why.
Mhm.
Let me tell you why. Because the cost of development of that will push the price up and make it less accessible for moms who want to buy their kids a console. And then they're not selling 52 million copies of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They're selling 40 million copies of
But
Mario
that's
Kart
why I
8.
said on the docked version. So that way there's still the cheap version that people can afford for their children, but the docked version, now you have this powered up machine that can run these other games. That's my way of thinking about it.
I understand. I just don't think Nintendo has any interest in getting into that. They really don't.
So
but
Probably not.
so what you're suggesting is Nintendo's just going to continue being like a suboptimal machine that's just capable of running what they make, right? And just because of the family friendly type of like, okay, that's fine. So they're just going to kind of keep the market being like the younger generations, whoever
Yeah.
the younger generations is. Here's your first game console. My first game console was Game Boy. I loved it. I still have it. I love Game Boy. I have man, I don't know
Revolutionized
how many
the world,
hours I
man.
had on
Yeah.
Game Boy. Yeah, it was amazing. So I get that. But and it's been successful for Nintendo. So like, all right, sure. But like, don't complain that you're not gonna get Call of Duty because Call of Duty can't run on that. So like, I'm with it. Like, I agree with them. Well, if you can't offer Call of Duty here, then I don't know. It just
Right.
feels like they want it all, but they're like, no, but we're gonna do it our way. And it's like, well, I
Right.
mean, you got to.
There's no
work with
give and
them.
take, and that's the problem. I think Craig's right. They are much more comfortable with their bread and butter Zeldas and Marios and all that they
I mean, that's the only
and-
reason why I'm going back. Is
and
for
they
the new
can
Zelda.
right, and they can make their profit margin, their expected profit margin, and even increase their sales every year and all that. But this is money just sitting there waiting to be taken, in my mind.
Well,
You
they
know,
don't
I
need it.
think if they're gonna do like Call of Duty, and they are, I think it's gonna look like Minecraft on the Switch.
Yeah,
It's
it'll
gonna
look
look so
like
bad.
Minecraft that can't run on the Switch.
I know, but
very
like,
well.
like I'm saying, the Call of
mean,
Duty
it does,
characters are gonna look so
but-
horrific.
I mean,
Mm.
is it really running?
I've also played a lot of Dead by Daylight, as Adam knows, on PC, and I've played it on the Switch, and the difference between the two is, wow, like
Night and day, yeah.
woof. Yeah, it's
I
pretty
like
rough.
Dead by Daylight. It's a fun game.
And don't
Mhm.
get me wrong, I think Nintendo's great and they've been doing great shit for years. I just think they're altering things a little bit, and it won't affect anything they're already doing. You know what I'm saying? To make this
This
extra
point-
money is a
This
good
is
idea.
a great. Hold on, this is a great point. Melodic Method just makes here. Nintendo made games are always high quality on day of release. That counts for a lot with
Yep.
people, and this goes to show when you have one system that you have to worry about. That's it. I know what the specs are on this system. I know exactly how to make this game run perfectly on this system. You don't have the same kind of issues as, all right, I need to make a version for PS4,
Mhm.
PS5, PC, Xbox Series X and S, and I don't know, whatever the former Xbox One is. I don't know
Right.
what
Xbox
all the
One, yeah.
Xboxes. You know, it's like, all right, so now we're spreading ourselves really thin, trying to make it work on all these different. Okay, well, we have to take this feature out because it doesn't run on these older consoles. So actually, we got to take this feature out as well. And then you're getting this numbed down version of the game where if they just move forward or make it to a specific thing, it could be so much better. And I think that's what's happening with Jedi Survivor. They're just like, they're trying to optimize it for all these different things. And with PC, it wasn't able to be optimized, but the game is out and it will be optimized in a patch, which they said, yeah, we're going to patch the PC because it's not fully optimized.
Do you know how
right now.
soon that's going to happen?
They said within the first couple weeks.
Yeah,
Oh,
but did you see
couple
what they
weeks.
also did
Couple
for
weeks?
Survivor?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I know that they said that they were going to do it. So
We'll do it soon.
You guys may know the answer to this. I'm not as computer savvy as this. Do they? So they patch things. So like Nvidia patches graphics cards for games, right? Do they patch? So which way does it work? Do they patch games for PCs or do PC
Probably
graphics cards both ways? Okay.
I don't think it's for the graphic cards gets upgraded for games specifically. I think the graphic cards get updated for new tweaks that are different game companies are using, not for a specific game, but like, I don't know, a better version of ray tracing that like a company might have used, that you need to upgrade your graphics card to be able to do that ray tracing, that whatever. And
that makes sense.
I think it both work.
I'm gonna shit on EA a little bit because this relates to Survivor game. If you have arachnophobia, you don't have to worry about it because they're gonna change it and remove all the spiders in the game. That's right. There's an option to remove all the spiders. So if you're
I heard about that. I heard about that.
That's so stupid.
That is
it's like,
soft.
Well, you need to adapt this game because I'm afraid of it. If you're afraid of spiders, don't play the game. I'm just saying. Like, how stupid is that?
You're right, Blebs. This is the fucking world we live in.
This is so stupid.
A game has spiders in it, so I want the spiders removed. Just don't play the game.
This is what we're talking about with handicapable Sean. Shout out Sean. Just, adapt. Right?
Mm-hmm. Dude, there were so many spiders in Hogwarts. Come on,
Oh my god, I know. I hate spiders, but I was killing them. I was like, get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I felt proud of myself. I killed them all.
You can see the response on this on Twitter has been exactly like you would think it'd be. Just like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
I like this.
Play something else. Go play fucking Kirby's Dream Land, and then you won't see goddamn spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Snowplow Society.
Yeah, this is so stupid.
This is a giant microcosm. Like, I think at a certain point you go, well, I am scared of turtles. So Nintendo, please remove all Koopa Troopas.
Yeah,
and,
like
Bowser, by the way.
You know what? I have pipe phobia, so please don't make them plumbers. Okay.
It reminds me of a quote, and I don't know who said it, but I learned it years ago, and I love it. And it's people who complain about microaggressions have never had to deal with macro dangers. And that sums up so much shit in this world. And it's like, if you're bitching about a digital spider on a video game because you're triggered and you're afraid of it, then you need to fucking go touch grass and lift some weights and go back into reality and face your fears like Batman. Become Spider-Man. And not, I don't know. That was kind of a lame ending to that. But
legit question here.
Stand by it.
Let me actually read this really quick. Metastep came in with a 2. Thank you so much, Metastep. Says, my daughter's Switch struggles to run Minecraft. That's not the first time we've heard that for sure.
Admit it, you're the one playing, Meta.
My kid.
My daughter.
So Upa says, if it's an option, then what's the deal? Like, what's the issue, I guess? So
I agree.
Why should it be an option, though?
That's my problem, is it shouldn't have even been made an option. Because let's make options for everything for everybody's scared of. Now, let's remove shells from Mario Kart.
I'm afraid of the dark.
People are scared to go too fast in Mario Kart.
I'm afraid of the sun.
Let's put speed limits on it. And
I'm afraid of the word speed.
Fuck me.
I don't want to do that,
it's like, how much is too much? Like, how far,
Well,
as before you said give him an inch, that's like a mile.
No killing in Dark Souls. At all.
I just want to experience the story. Can you get rid of all of the enemies so I could just walk? I'm afraid of enemies. Please get rid of all of the enemies.
Just watch streams.
Don't want to break bricks in Mario because we don't like destruction.
It's the first step towards I know people don't like this word, but woke. All right, I'm just saying.
Don't you say that word.
I said
they're gonna come after us.
I said it.
I agree with Yellow Flash. I'm just saying. Stop Yellow Flash.
Yellow Flash says maybe instead of working on their stupid spider code, they could have worked on the effing PC release. There you go.
Has Yellow Flash played it?
You're supposed to prioritize.
I like what Extra Zero just said. Highlight that, please. I'm afraid of Kathleen Kennedy. Wow. Is there an accessibility option for me? I like it. I like it.
Force a female.
Here's the thing about this whole idea that they're removing spiders from the game. What is put in place of it? Clowns? Like
that sounds kind of scary too. That's another phobia for people.
It's probably like the other creatures
And what
and
if
stuff. that you
what
have
if
to
somebody's
kill.
scared of that? Do they need something to take that away? And then what if somebody's scared of that? Do they need something to take that away? And then what if somebody's scared of? You see what I'm saying?
Of course, this is the slippery slope we talk about,
Mhm.
Travis. Absolutely, the slippery slope. The slippery slope. And I'll say that there's really only one thing to say to these people who
Here we go.
Fuck off, you oversensitive little shits.
There you go. So
We have that today.
it works in so many ways. Man, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we got a few more stories here when it comes to Star Wars. Do you want to get to the video, or do you want to do? And this is for Adam. Do you want to get to the video? Do you want to?
No, I think I could do this. I'm gonna bring them both together. These last things. So
Go crazy.
first, I want to talk about the sequels. All right.
Oh,
And
shit.
Call
You make us sad.
I know you're very opinionated on Star Wars because you love Star Wars, and
Yeah.
I love Star Wars too. I grew up watching the original trilogy, and Han shot first, and like the original shit, and I loved it. And my dad had the movies, and
The
now,
original Ewok song at the end.
but I
That's
want to
right.
focus. I
Yep,
want to
no.
focus on something specific, and this is Luke Skywalker, right? The person that I grew up really liking a lot. You know, he got knocked down, he got his hand chopped off, found out his mortal enemy was actually his dad, and like he was, you know, the most evil man in the world, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
what a freaking journey that this guy went through. And I I stumbled upon an opinion, and I want to hear your take on it and all of your takes on it. And I'm gonna read it for you right here. I got it, and I can do this myself, which is pretty great. Okay.
He has the power.
So here it is. It's from the Star Wars Academy, which is it's not a very big site, you know, a couple thousand.
I saw this. I already have thoughts on this. Wow.
Okay, good. So I'm going to read it here. It says Luke Skywalker's characterization in The Last Jedi is a controversial topic of discussion. We all wanted to see the heroic figure of our childhood, but some of us needed to see even the greatest of heroes can fall. Luke's struggles are relatable in many ways. And then, of course, that they had once they started getting probably ratioed and people responding it with some hate. Says we all share different opinion. There are fans that connected with Luke's arc in The Last Jedi, and there are fans who did not. Please be respectful to blah 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 blah. Craig, can you play that clip real quick?
Oh yes.
Yeah, just real quick, just play that.
Fuck off, you oversensitive little shits.
Okay, what are your thoughts on this, Call?
I think it's a really lazy attempt to legitimize how he was portrayed in the movies. I think that if anybody knows Luke Skywalker, it's Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, who said to the director's face, I feel like I'm playing a different person. I'm going to call him Jake Skywalker because this isn't Luke Skywalker. This isn't how he'd be. And furthermore, you have 30-year gap between the end of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and then he's not even in it, and then he's in The Last Jedi. So you've got like 3 decades of information that the audience hasn't seen, and you're going to make the most radical change to the character you could possibly imagine. You turn him on his head, and now he's this angry, bitter, pessimistic asshole. If you're going to make that choice, which is a bold choice to make for writing, you'd better have some amazing writing to back up and explain why that's going to be. Because not only is that an insane choice for Luke, but you've also got that 30-year gap where people are going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Right?
All right.
So in my opinion, that is just the worst attempt to try and be like, it was actually pretty good. Like, no. Maybe Luke would be that depressed if maybe Leia and Han were dead and they died in some tragic accident. Oh, I couldn't save them. Maybe fans would kind of buy into it then. But Leia's around, Han's around. He's like, I don't want to save my friend. No, go away, Rey. That's not Luke. It's such a lazy, frankly, shitty representation of the character. And again, I got to say, when Luke says Luke isn't Luke anymore, I mean, where's the discussion? There's no discussion to be had. It's the end of it. Right?
Just,
Well,
Come
go
on.
ahead.
all right. So I know that you like Sam Witwer, and
Love him.
I did
He
too. I did too.
Followed me and rated me once. It's cool.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
That is so cool, actually.
I did. There's a video of me double taking because, like, you know, you get follows and you look, and like I go, what the fuck? Because it said Sam Witwer has followed. It was cool. Anyway, sorry. What were you saying?
Well, Sam Witwer actually was in an interview and addressed this topic. Have
Really?
you seen what he said?
No.
All right, I'm gonna play this video, and it's so on point. And there's a lot of people out there that are like, I even saw some people in chat. Well,
Wait, is this
we
about
saw-
the homework? Like they didn't do their homework? Okay. Sorry.
It's specifically about Luke. So what we're talking about. And someone said, you know, we saw Anakin fall, and that was like the greatest. So Luke should be different. It's like, I mean, the hero's journey. You ever heard of it? Like that's the thing. It's like people fall and then can be redeemed. And it's like Luke went through so much in his life and then became who he is. And I feel like it would be better to just hear from Sam Witwer here, because it's a really good clip that really, I think, nails it better than however I could say it. So let me know if you guys. Oh, I can. Let me just share this real quick. Entire screen. Boom. Share audio. Okay, here it is.
My point of view, when you take a beloved character from anything, and you've seen the character grow up, you've grown up with the character, you know the character, we have opinions about the character. If you fundamentally change that character between stories, if you fundamentally change the character off screen, then at that point you invite people to disagree with you. There are people that I've talked to who needed to see that version of Luke Skywalker in their life. Perfectly legitimate. But you know what else is also legitimate? People who say, this is the guy who saved Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Darth Vader,
Thank
like
you.
saving
Thank you.
Kylo Ren is child's play next to saving Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I did not necessarily agree with that version of the character. Luke Skywalker, the level of compassion that it would take to throw down his weapon in front of his mortal enemy and declare, I'm not going to fight anyone.
Yeah.
I won't hurt anyone. And I'm certainly not going to hurt this man, my father. You failed, because this is what a Jedi is.
Yeah.
I am a man of peace. That guy doesn't ever for a moment think about murdering his best friend and his sister's kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have
100%.
two things.
I
Wow.
mean,
So good.
So he hit it right on. By the way, this is an actor who played Doomsday on Smallville. So if anybody knows, it's this guy. Okay. But anyway,
I don't know what that
besides
means.
Yeah.
well, if anybody knows about playing a character that they change off screen. But anyway, with Luke, so he's the guy who believed that there's a small spark in his dad, just a small little spark of hope. And that guy is going to take just this small little spark of darkness, this one thought in his head is going to turn him to kill a child. That
Mhm.
guy who believed in that tiny little spark of hope in an evil guy. You see what I'm saying? It's
Oh,
just
that's what Sam was
a man
saying.
who committed
Just
genocide
repeating.
across so many different planets. Like your father has killed so many millions.
and he believes he's redeemable, but
Yeah.
that child isn't.
He doesn't believe it. He knows
Right.
redeemable.
It's just
It's so
yeah,
good.
he hit it right on the head. It's just not his character. It's
And
just
he
not-
referenced like that 30 years. Like if you change this character off screen that's been around for decades, people are going to be right to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, no.
Mhm.
And they even knew Luke, like Luke in Battlefront 2, there's a story mode and he's in a couple of scenes, and Luke is as he's written in Return of the Jedi. Like they knew how to make Luke. They just chose not to do it. And it's disgusting too. Like that scene with the big the sea lion, whatever the hell that thing
Oh,
was,
yeah.
spraying green milk on Luke. They spent
Yeah.
over $1 million for practical effects to humiliate and degrade everyone's character that they were waiting for.
But he
And
grew up on a farm. He's
So
used
stupid.
to that kind of shit. Like that's their
gaslighting.
argument.
That's gaslighting. You're gaslighting people. What? No, absolutely not. Yeah.
the
Shitting on
whole
farmers,
story.
too.
The whole story was he believed this irredeemable man was redeemable because of the
Yes.
spark of hope.
And
But
not only
my
that,
God, that kid, he has one vision of this kid turned to the dark side, and he's got to go murder him.
yeah.
Oh, Carl, what were you gonna say?
Oh, just like I kind of forget now, actually, but I agree. Like, oh, I remember now. Not only that, but after successfully turning Vader back to the light, he would be like, "Oh, I can! Like, I accomplished what I knew everyone said was impossible." So it makes it even more bullshit. He'd be like, well, my nephew had a bad dream. I guess I gotta kill him right now." Like,
Yes.
he would never do that ever,
Yeah.
ever. And he said that to Ryan Johnson. He's like, "This is crazy, man. Like, you're representing him in such a horrific way. Like, breaking into. Can you imagine? I'm an uncle now. I can't even fathom breaking into my nephew's or niece's rooms while they're sleeping and loading a gun, which is what
Yeah.
turning a lightsaber on is. It's psychotic. Like no one's gonna do that. It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
Sam Witwer is right, and huge shout out to Sam Witwer because he really, in a lot of ways, defined the character of Darth Maul. Because when you think about all the dialogue that character has had, 99.9% of it is Sam Witwer's dialogue, which is in a cartoon show. It's crazy.
I
Who
actually have
did-
a question for
was-
Carl. What do you
which-
think of the Clone Wars?
The show?
Yeah.
I love the Clone Wars. I think it did such a wonderful job of expanding the prequels, because the prequels were obviously not as well received when they came out, and George kind of got a little hurt over that, and I can totally see why. But when you see how much world building and effort he put into building the story of before of 1, 2, 3, and then Clone Wars just makes that like 100 times better. Like you get such an insight into Anakin that you don't really get in 2 and 3, his fall to the dark side. You get that for so many seasons in Clone
Yeah.
Wars. I'm a big fan. Not a huge fan of the Rebels. I like Maul in Rebels, but that's when
Yeah.
Disney took over, and then there was like helicopter lightsabers, and
Yeah,
just
that
like
was
no.
stupid.
Yeah, I thought the way his shit with Ahsoka and how they interacted
Mhm.
explains a lot of his character to me.
Yeah,
It really
absolutely. And Kenobi, and like a lot of
Yep.
other Jedi's get to shine, like Plo Koon.
does. Yep.
Like you can go down the list. There's
You
a
don't
lot.
think it like contradicts like a lot of the EU stuff? A lot of my friends say that contradicts EU, especially like Mandalore.
Which parts?
They were saying, because I don't know EU, so I'm just wondering what it is. But they were saying like a whole bunch of parts of Mandalore was contradicting the Mandalorians, and then the actual Mandalorian show itself contradicts all the EU stuff. So
I'm
just
sure
wondering
there's
what you
I'm sure there's
think.
some stuff, but I mean, I'm just talking about from 1, 2, 3 and like the beginning era of that story. Clone Wars does an amazing job of
I
expanding
agree.
that.
I like the
Yeah.
Clone Wars, although I hear it does contradict. But then again, I don't know the EU, so I'm okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the EU had some great stuff. If I was Disney, I would have. Well, first of all, I wouldn't have torn up George Lucas's treatment, because
Script.
George was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, thanks for the bill of $4 billion. Here's my treatment for 7, 8, 9. Here you go," and they threw that away. And then J.J. Abrams made his own movie, which is just a really cheap carbon copy of A New Hope. It was pretty terrible. But then they hot potato that over to Ryan Johnson with no planning. He's like, I'm going to do whatever I want and be avant-garde with my little like art project, even though this is like a 40, 50, whatever decade IP that's beloved. He's going to do whatever he wants with it. And then they got to hot potato it back to JJ because that was such a disaster. Really, they did such a bad job on Luke, and they really didn't understand how much that was going to affect their bottom line. Like Luke is beloved. Luke is beloved for decades. So for you to basically trick people into thinking he's going to be in the first movie, and then he's not at all in the first movie, that's a slap in the face, not only to fans, but to Mark Hamill and to Luke. Like, wow. So this better be pretty incredible when we finally get to see him. And then you get another 2-year troll of actually, he sucks. And that really pissed people off. And they tried to downplay so much the damage that was done to the IP. But the proof is in the pudding. The next movie that came out, Solo, a Star Wars story, which a lot of people like, lost money, lost devastating amounts of money. No Star Wars movie has ever lost a penny. And people were so pissed about The Last Jedi. Everyone was like, we're not going to see this shit. Hell no. And that's when they were like, oh, well, it's okay. We'll fix it. And then they tried to hot potato it back. Also, I just want to point out, George took 3 years between each movie. Like episode 1, we're going to work on the next one for 3 years. Disney rushed the hell out of it. They did 2 years because they're greedy and they're lazy and they don't care. They just wanted to scoop the money into the bag, and they paid the price. Same.
I don't know if you saw this, but Melodic Method came in with the 5, says, Dead-eyed CGI and all, I legit teared up when Luke Skywalker showed up with the Mandalorian and kicked absolute ass. The movies destroyed him.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that was an apology. Like after The Last Jedi came out, people were so mad. They're like, oh man, like we got to get the fans back because we really pushed away a huge portion of our people that buy tickets. We got to bring Luke in. It was a big, yeah, it was a big, I'm sorry, in my opinion. Not only to the fans, but also to Mark. Like, yo, I know that we kind of destroyed your chance at being Luke. And one other thing that really just disgusts me is they intentionally kill off Han in the first movie. So J.J. Abrams willfully and knowingly decided we're never getting the band back together. Yeah, we hired them all. You're never going to see them together having a fun, even for 1 second. Fuck you guys. That's what it felt like. And you can't be like, oh, it was an accident. First movie, you killed him off when Luke's not there. You decided to be malicious to that, and that's not forgivable.
So Darth, my thing is I've seen each of the Star Wars movies once.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not a hardcore Star Wars fan at all. I can honestly care less. I think the world is interesting, right? But I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of kind of like what you're saying and like a franchise that I care about.
Yeah.
And let's just, so I'll say like it's almost like if at the start of, I don't know, let's just say the Mario movie that came out, they're like, yeah, by the way, Luigi's dead. You know. And by the way, have fun with that. And he's never going to come back. So
Yep.
I guess I can see that if that's I mean, maybe that's a bad
Or
comparison.
like another one. I'll give you another one. It would be like if Warner Brothers was like, all right, guys, we are bringing back Harry Potter. He's going to be an Auror. He's going to be in his 30s, like in his prime. It's going to be sweet. He's given up magic. He snapped his wand in half, and he doesn't want to talk to his magic friends. But this movie is going to be really cool. Are you guys hyped? It'd be like that. Hands would be like,
he's like an office worker. Like
Yeah.
Harry
I've
Potter's
decided
working.
to be a muggle. I'm no longer a wizard. I don't want it. Yeah.
Nice accent.
Do you think it would have been a better way for them to go, like if they just had done like a movie about him training Kylo and all that, and starting just there?
Well, so
Hell
many things
yeah.
didn't make sense. So many things didn't make sense. Like, okay, when I watched The Force Awakens, which I call The Farce Awakens, the ending confused me because it made no sense, because some chick who didn't know what the Force was and had never wielded a sword bested a guy that had been trained by Luke Skywalker in the Force for decades since childhood.
Right.
If you know Star Wars, I don't care what your opinions on the sequels are, you know that's bullshit. So the first thought I had was, okay, she definitely was trained. She lost her memory. We're going to see where this goes. It's like this crazy cliffhanger. The second one's going to explain it. It'll be fine. That would have, by the way, explained it at least a little bit. But no. There was no training. There was no memory loss. She legit just was like, oh, I'm amazing. I
Yeah.
win. It was
Especially
like,
when she flies.
really?
She
Yeah.
never flew before. Oh, hey, press the compressor or whatever it is. Bypassed it.
You know what I really want to do? Like very much hearing how passionate you guys are about Star Wars. I would love, and I love getting, I want to do more roundtables, right? I want to do a roundtable of like Darth Call, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamer, like Nerdrotic. Get people in who are super passionate about how they screwed up Star Wars, and then get
Rhino
3 other
in.
people who are like, Star Wars is awesome. What are you talking about? And get you
wow.
guys together and
God.
just,
Oh, bloodbath.
that'd be
That would
so
be
much
fire.
fun.
Well,
Mhm.
Call, you did a lot of interviews at the different conventions in LA
Mhm.
or San Diego, and you
And LA.
and LA, right? So you've actually been on the ground interviewing people,
Yeah.
which are on his YouTube, by the way. You can check out those interviews. He uploads
Those are like retro
uploaded them all.
videos now. Yeah. Mhm.
True, but you asked about a lot, especially with Ray. Like, what do you think of Ray? And
I interviewed like 7 Rays, man. I
I
went
know,
toe to toe with Ray.
but what I
Yeah.
find very interesting is a lot of these people, you can almost see that they're uncomfortable lying because they're saying like, "Oh yeah, like she is. It's really great." Shit. What else is politically correct that I can say that I don't get in trouble for saying Ray sucked? Like
Yeah.
her story arc was shit comparatively to like the hero's journey. Like she should have been bested by Kylo Ren. She should have
Oh
gotten
my
her ass
gosh, she's
kicked.
gotten destroyed.
She's lucky to be. She should be lucky to have been left alive if she even was left alive in that fight. Like he should have slaughtered her.
30 minutes before that fight, remember Kylo freezes her and she's just a statue? Like, what happened to
Exactly.
that, Kylo? Where'd that go?
Right. So it's like
Yeah.
it didn't make any sense. But had she gotten her ass kicked and then met Luke and then like it didn't bother me that it was a girl. People were like, "Oh, you're just upset." Like, no, I didn't give a shit about that. I cared that it was like it came naturally and she just bested everyone. If she got her ass beat and then like, finally like went and got trained by Luke Skywalker, right? Like the one that if that's what would have happened, like boom, now they're going to
Which is what everybody wanted.
Exactly.
They just wanted. No one said, "Hey, I need the next 3 movies to be about Luke whooping ass in his late 60s or 70s." No one asked for that. We just asked for Luke to be respected and present as a side character, and that was asking too much. They're like, "Sorry, he needs to have the milk." Yeah, it was terrible. And it's fascinating, dude. It's fascinating, man, because Rey, as much as I hate that name and all of the characters in those movies, you could have made her beloved. If you had respected what came before, it would be so much harder to argue against Rey because there would be some justification for why she's cool. But they didn't do that. And it's out of ego and arrogance that they thought that you'll eat whatever we put in our hands, Star Wars fans.
That's it.
That's what it is.
Right there.
And it's a lack of respect for the people paying money for your product. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's perfect. I think that that sums it up perfectly. I think,
and I feel bad for the actors. Like that sucks for them, you know, like
Yeah.
to
That's
have
true.
their characters
It's
be
not.
hated.
It's not
It's
Daisy's
not their
fault
fault. It's not.
that the writing was trash.
Oh, not at all.
I
question
think
for
she
Paul.
actually did fairly good with what she got. Actually,
Which was nothing.
true. Yeah. But
Yeah.
it wasn't her acting that was bad. Like
No.
she played the part perfectly.
Kylo Ren. Oh my God. First of all, Adam Driver did a great job. Okay,
Agreed.
With what he was given when he first came out in the first movie, and he force freezes the blaster bolt midair.
Right.
We had never
Yeah.
seen anything like that before, but it wasn't like some crazy thing where you're going to complain like, "Whoa, this guy is fucking strong. He just topped a blaster bolt midair. He's got his
Yep.
mask on. He's mysterious. He's got a cool voice. He looks
Yep.
badass. He looks like Revan, like a Revan kind of redo. Like there was a lot of potential, and then he takes his helmet off, and it gets really simpy and weird. And like,
I know.
if
It's
you had
like,
ke-
wait, what just
if you
happened?
had you kept that mask on for 2.5 movies, so that the payoff on the third movie, when you finally see Adam Driver's face, would have been so huge, would have been gigantic. Like you would have earned that moment, and it would have been a historic moment probably in Star Wars. Instead,
But the merch.
they're like, oh, let's have him with the long hair, and he'll be simping for Rey the whole time for 3 movies.
I actually do remember that point where he took off the mask, and I was like,
What?
oh,
Yeah.
like,
Disappointment, right?
Just
yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
And why did he do it? Because she said, take off your mask. Okay. Because you asked me to, I guess I will. Like, why would
I
you
think
do
it was
that?
for merch, right? All the
Stupid.
merch, mask and maskless. But I actually have a question for Cole. Who would you want Rey's parents to be? Because like they didn't know until the last second. So what would you have wanted?
Okay, that whole thing I have a problem with, because it's that hot potato where they want to act like they planned this whole thing out, but they absolutely
had no
didn't
plan.
plan this thing out. Number one, I wouldn't have had Rey, because you already had a story with a female protagonist in the EU, which is Han and Leia's kids are Jason and Jaina Solo, right? They're twins, and this you could have had the focus, because she is the protagonist in those stories, be the chick. Would not have been a problem. There would have been the temples on Yavin 4. Luke would be training his whole family. He has Ben Skywalker, his son. Would have been amazing. People from the old days would have appreciated it. People from the new days get the new characters like Jaina, so they would have been down with it. I guarantee you they would have been down with it. But to your point about the Rey name, it's bullshit. She takes on the name Skywalker at the last second because Disney knows they messed up.
Rise of
for
identity theft.
years. Like, we're going to force her to be a Skywalker and make her. We're going to give her Anakin's lightsaber. It's going to be her lightsaber. Instead of that, because this is how it goes in the movie. They go, "What's your name?" And she goes, "I'm Rey." And then she's the whole 3 movies is about, who am I? Who am I? Where do I belong? What am I? Blah blah blah. And then they go, "Rey who?" And she could have just said, "Just Rey," because she's happy accepting who she is. She doesn't need that. She's got what she needs on the
That would've been
inside.
better.
And it would have been way, way better. Instead, it's this cheesy, cringy, "I'm Rey Skywalker." No, you're not. No, you're fucking
Skywalker.
not. Yeah.
I have a question for you. We talked about this a bit before. That I said that's because they want to start making the new characters known as Skywalkers, and that's my theory about it. Do you think that's the case? They're trying to make us think of the new people rather than the old people when we
Yes.
say Skywalker?
Yes, but not only that, but also to legitimize her incredibly poorly constructed backstory. Like, we did a really bad job. We're going to just put a big band-aid on this Skywalker. Good. All right. That's fixed. That's what I think it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
And another thing, like throughout the whole process, from the movies to the video games to the theme park, like your theme park, they had no OT characters. It was Rey, Finn, Poe. Dude, first of all, who's bringing the kids? It's the people who love Star Wars, who watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So put 3PO in there, put Chewbacca, R2D2, things that are recognizable, which were in Star Tours back in the day. Like when I went as a kid, oh, look, there's 3PO. Oh, look, there's R2. That will get the fans into it. And then you can incorporate some of the new ones. Like have Rey there. Of course, have Rey there. She's like the Star Wars princess, right? That would make sense. If you put me in charge of the money, I would have said, have the old characters, incorporate like a Rey and a Kylo, but have the other ones with them. I guarantee you that theme park would have done numbers. Instead, it did terribly. Stupid. Just constantly ignoring the stuff from the past and just assuming this is going to pan out. Well, they're going to like whatever we give them. And no, turns out that's not the case, unfortunately.
Adam says I look miserable. No, I'm what I'm doing is I'm just listening to you guys.
I was just kidding, man. I was talking to chat.
No. But
you did look miserable though.
Well, I am.
You just said you weren't.
No.
But
Which one is
5
it?
minutes of sleep schedule.
No. I
right.
think
That's a good point.
Really, what I love about this is it's something that I don't know about, right? And but I'm constantly surrounded by this because you guys are obviously very passionate about this. But for me, to hear you guys talk about the level of depth that you guys feel these characters have and how they were wronged by these people who you guys put so much trust in to create these next few movies, and how they just went total 180 degrees of what should have happened or how you feel it should have happened. It's just a really fascinating conversation to hear. Like I'm always
take
intrigued.
Star Wars out of it, right? Take Star Wars out of it.
Yeah,
Now,
Nintendo,
apply,
whatever.
Now apply
Game
it
of
to any
Thrones.
IP.
Game of Thrones.
All these
Season
IPs.
8.
House of the Dragon is actually pretty decent. Just saying. That was
Yeah.
maybe that's their apology. Like, sorry. Let's really try to
Sorry, we
remain.
ruined the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. That was the writers that actually got fired from making the Star Wars movies. Didn't they? Weren't they supposed to make the Star Wars movies?
Yeah, I think they actually abandoned the project because they were due to be at one of the panels at Comic-Con in San Diego.
Right.
And they no-showed. And then they're like, we're not doing this anymore because there was such a backlash.
I heard that they wanted to finish Game of Thrones. So they were like, let's just wrap it up real quick because we got hired for Star Wars. And then it was so poorly received that Disney then was like, yeah, you're not, well, like, we can't risk this giving it to you guys. So they got fired from making the Star Wars films.
Wow.
So
sounds like the Last Jedi effect, but for the directors.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Last Jedi had so much hype because that trailer was really cool.
Amazing
with all
trailer.
That red. Oh,
amazing
so cool.
with the piano. Oh, it was the biggest bait and switch you've ever seen in your life.
It's not going to go how you think it is. You're right, Luke.
Dude, pull up the comments to that trailer. They're hilarious. They're hilarious. Yeah.
Well, we have been going pretty long, so let's get. I don't know if there's any super chats, Craig. You want to hit?
Yeah, Winterfell came in, says Chewie shot Kylo in the belly with his bowcaster.
Yeah, that's the excuse for I don't know how to use the Force anymore. Oh,
there you go.
I'm hurt. I can't use the Force.
And we do have some. Like I said, I think this is a really interesting conversation. And I was putting down in some notes that I definitely want to do a Star Wars fan versus Star Wars detractors roundtable.
Wow. That would be cool.
We're gonna I'm gonna make this happen. I think it's
down.
All right. Let's head to some memes.
Go get spicy.
Oh, we got some memes.
I love it.
Oh, pretty good one.
Here we go. Thank you guys very much. The memers popping in and making these things happen. Here we are. Extra Zero says Adam Krugler with the StreamYard admins like, after all, why not? Why shouldn't I keep it? There you go. Yes.
Did you just share us?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Didn't need to.
You shared my my screen.
There you go. There you go. You're good.
Awesome. I like this one a lot.
Why should I keep it?
That's a good one.
Oh, he's frozen. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Oh shit! Am I frozen?
Twitter.
No, you're good. You're good. I will say this.
I froze in the best possible way.
Okay,
sorry. You can all come back.
Speaking of StreamYard, if you guys would like to get a StreamYard account, use our link down below. We do see benefit from that. We have an affiliate link down below. It's how we that's how we do all of our shows. It's a great program. It's free to use. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from your PC. You can do it from your anywhere. It's awesome. It's a great free program. You guys can use it. Use our link down below to register for an account. We really appreciate that. Next, what the barber say? Next, here we go. What Adam Krugler means by digging his homies. I'm alive, Adam. I'm alive. You're walking the neighbors.
That's good.
You're waking the neighbors.
I'm on sleep, man. I was gonna say, what is walking the neighbor? What does that even mean? No, this is from Step Brothers. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love that movie.
I believe that's actually a Guamonian term. You're walking the neighbors. That's what they say there. That's what you were. That's why you were saying that, right?
That's right. Absolutely. And here's the next one from Extra Zero. He knows the reference I was going for. Craig, after working on upping those memberships. That's right. Looking for the nasty Nate. No.
That's fantastic.
Yep. That is definitely me. 100%. And then we have this one right here, which was we were talking about Jeremy being old. And here we are.
I think he slept in years, to be honest.
He's going. It's starting to wear on him too. You can tell. He's looking old as shit.
Hello, darkness.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm waiting for that to get back to him. I'm
Thank you,
Positive.
Superman, if he wasn't scared of green rocks.
That's right. And here's one last one from Extra Zero. It says, Greg talking about taxes before going into Star Wars. It says,
what about the government's attack on my wallet?
What about attack on the Wookiees?
Yeah.
That's good. Classic.
It's got like 2 lines in the entire trilogy.
Great stuff.
Has a very sad death. Very
I
moving
know,
in Order
doesn't he?
66.
Ayla sucked too.
Yeah, Ayla got
He got
obliterated.
pulverized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They shot her corpse like 100 times. It was a little rough.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Oh,
Craig's
we
like,
do-
yeah.
And we do have one more. Hold
Oh,
on.
we got one
There
more.
we go. One more. This one delivered straight from Blabs right now.
That's actually the sound I was making. Friday feeling. That's great. That
Love
makes
it.
me happy.
All right. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys go over and follow us on Twitter, Side Scroller Pod over there. You guys can. We also have Instagram, which we never use, but it's there if you guys want to do it. With that said, hey, Darth, where should everybody find you?
You can find me on almost any platform. I go live on Twitch. It's Darth Call, Caul. I'm on Twitter and I tweet when I go live. You can follow me in my Discord. I got a YouTube where I upload more edited videos or just full blocks of streams from Twitch. So just Darth Call, Caul, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Imgur, whatever. Yeah.
Imager. Nice.
Yeah. And thank you so much again for having me, guys. This was so much fun talking some Star Wars. Huge honor to be invited. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Adam. I wouldn't be on this podcast without Adam. I wouldn't be in Vegas without Adam. I wouldn't be kicking it with Flawed or Garrett, getting cool merch without Adam. So thank you, brother.
Love that.
Of course, buddy.
L Dub came in with the 10 to finish us off. Says Star Wars is deeply rooted in mythology and the hero's journey, a la Joseph Campbell. Is it Campbell? Is that right, or Campbell? I don't know. I don't know. That is why discussion on it can go pretty deep. Would be hyped for that round table idea. Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. 100%.
That would be crazy. Yeah.
You should bring like Raging Rhino, Star Wars theory. That would be interesting if he accepts. Ryan Kinnell, Nerdrotics.
I feel like that's something that you could have multiple roundtables on, you know, with multiple people, multiple groups.
So many people, yeah.
The big thing is finding the people who feel like Star Wars got done dirty is easy.
That's easy.
Yeah,
it's very easy.
Because it got done dirty.
Yeah. Finding the people who are the Star Wars champions would be the hard part.
Or you just got to find
Star
good
Wars
debaters.
Meg, I think, is very pro Disney Star Wars.
Who is?
Star Wars Meg.
Okay, good.
I'm pretty sure she's pro Disney Star Wars.
I think this would be an awesome. Like, we're gonna need to
put her on
talk
the
about
list.
this. Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
We're making a spreadsheet.
No, I am. I'm literally writing Star Wars Meg right now. Yeah, for sure. Okay, cool, awesome. With that said, we're gonna head over to Patreon, which is exciting. Head over there for the last few minutes of the show at patreon.com/sidescrollers. Look, if you're thinking about supporting this show, that would be a great place to do it. We would love for you to hop over there. Just one of you today watching, pop over at patreon.com/sidescrollers to become a patron would be massive. If we get out of one patron every single day, God, that'd be huge. So consider heading over there. We would love to see you over there. We greatly appreciate that. Trav, you got anything before we go? Nope. Blabs.
Yeah, I'll be on Destiny, playing on Destiny. I'll be playing Kick on Destiny. There you go. Wait, no.
Playing Destiny on Kick. I got you.
Playing Destiny on Kick. I've been up for too many hours. Tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's it. I'm
Adam
done speaking.
Well, first off, Blabs, DM me your Bungie name so I can add you as a friend, and then and also all the rest of it. I mean, I don't know who's playing. Like, is it Lethal Lightning, Raging Rhino? Like, is that guy? Those guys?
Herbs, yeah.
Okay, all those guys. Yeah, I want to connect. Oh, because they knew that I was gonna scoop you up.
No, they were saying how to get up to
I'm just gonna go with that.
1693.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. So anyway, definitely check out my show, Base Staff Monday, every Monday night. So I got this guy joining me every Monday night. It's a lot of fun. I got Quarterblack Garrett, Darth Call here, Flawedzilla, Andreas Exertus, and George the Giant Slayer. We just get together and we just talk about all sorts of fun shit, and we laugh our asses off. It's always a good time. Sunday nights, I don't know if we're actually doing this Sunday, but pretty much every Sunday night, Forbidden Frontier runs over on Nerdrotic Live with Gary from Nerdrotic and Quarterblack Garrett, where we talk about ancient civilizations. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, I stream daily, Monday through Friday, on my Locals and Rumble channel, which is just, it's the Krigler Show. It's very easy to find. Just to, look it up, and you can find me there. And I just, I've been playing a lot of Destiny myself. A lot of people, I saw a lot of people in chat that were triggered that I think that Fortnite sucks and Destiny it doesn't.
Fortnite does suck.
Thank you, Blabs. We're homies now. So anyway,
Back
you
in
guys
good
get
graces.
it. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for supporting yesterday when Craig wasn't here. It was a lot of fun to host, and it is good to have him back though. So
thanks,
cheers,
guys.
everyone.
Appreciate that. All right, go subscribe to Darth Call. He's a great dude. Got awesome stuff going on, and appreciate everybody's support today. It's fun to be back today, and I'm going to go get a little bit of rest myself personally, but I got a little bit more to do before the day winds up. We head over to patreon.com/sidescrollers right now. We're going to talk. I think we're going to talk more about this Star Wars fan versus detractors idea, and maybe workshop this a little bit. But I do have something that brings back to Handy Capable Sean, who we had on last Friday. He's just rubbing it in my face. God damn it!
I tagged you in that. You saw that, right?
Oh, I'd already liked it before then, but
I wanted to tag you just in case.
Oh,
I wanted to rub it in the wounds a little bit. That was me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It has already been rubbed in, and I appreciate how much of a better gamer he is with his chin than I am with my whole body. So
it's true.
With that said, you guys have an awesome weekend. I'll be back on Sunday night, back for my regular evening streams. Then we'll be back on Monday, ready to go at 11 a.m. Central Time for the next episode of Side Scrollers. A lot of good guests coming up. Once again, Boogie coming up next week. We're going to have Mark the Cyborg on Monday again. So look, a lot of great people coming up. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. We'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.
Fatality.
Bye, Twitch. See ya.
Fatality.
Rumble.
Adam's frozen. I can't handle.
You could deal with
All
it.
right, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back, guys. Give me 2 seconds.
Rumble, you out.
Fatality.
And YouTube, we'll see you guys over at Patreon. Thank you guys very much.
Man, it just keeps getting frozen.
I don't know. It's because it got